Hey yo, what up? Welcome to Black Savage Entertainment. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and turn your notification bell on. Yo, in this one, we got Trap Lord Ross joining Clubhouse with Wack 100. He talks about various things, his impact on the drill hip hop community. He speaks on King Von and various other issues, man. Let's get straight into it, and then we're going to chop it up at the end. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let's get it.
Clubhouse. This is a legendary moment, people.
Yes, we're here to trap it. With your fake ass England accent. I'm not
Hey,
going to tell everybody your secret, trap.
Come
is
on,
that meant to
bruv.
be an English accent?
Come on, bruv.
That's meant to be an English accent. Nah, you Americans can't do the accent, man. That's trash.
So you can do ours, but we can't do yours, right?
I can do yours like easy, like yours is chill to do,
Hold
but
on,
like
bruv. Hold on,
you
bruv.
guys doing the English one is
This
kind of
is
fucked up.
breakfast, isn't it?
Breakfast in it.
This is breakfast, isn't it?
You man don't know how to make breakfast. You need to get on the full English breakfast.
Nah, y'all got some bullshit breakfast.
Nah, we got
Bro,
the fire breakfast. You talking crazy? You
hell
talking
no.
crazy,
You
like
niggas, y'all niggas got some raw ass bacon. Let's start with that bacon.
some
And,
raw
and,
bait, bro.
and
We got that
anorexic
street bacon, man.
pancakes.
Nah,
Bro,
we got the hard breakfast, man. You're talking
the
crazy. What
only
are you eating for
thing I
breakfast,
like
Wack? What's Wack
is,
eating for breakfast?
yo, let me tell you what I like. Is the the juice.
The
Y'all
what?
got a multi juice with all kind of vitamins and shit. Y'all
Oh,
be
like
eating,
Supermall.
y'all be eating black beans and fish, raw fish and all kind of crazy way out shit, man.
Hey, you know what we eat that you guys don't eat, man? Vegetables.
We eat vegetables. What the fuck are you talking about?
I ain't seen a vegetable since I've been here, man.
You talking about for
For
breakfast? Nah,
breakfast?
we don't really eat breakfast. We don't eat vegetables for
I
breakfast.
might, yeah, breakfast. I don't know, maybe a little steak and spinach or something. But
A nigga ain't eating no corn and spinach for breakfast. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't do it.
I'm still looking for the vegetables out here,
You
man.
know
I
the
ain't too
K
many.
West is my spot out there, man.
I know you're good in London, man. Wack,
That's
you're
my
tapped in, man.
spot.
They love you out there.
The K West is my spot out there, man. At the cut over there.
The K West is famous, man. That's like where David Bowie and them would be
Yeah,
staying, man.
that's my
You're up there with
spot.
David Bowie and them.
That's where I stay at every time I'm out there.
Hell yeah, man. No, that's legit. I need to catch you in the UK. I know you got love over there.
Nah, we definitely coming back.
For
Definitely
sure.
coming back. I've been trying to get stuck on the London Eye so I can sue somebody, but that motherfucker.
Hey, you know what? I feel like American lawsuits hit different to UK lawsuits. You ain't gonna get a real bag in the UK if you sue.
No?
Nah, the lawsuits be smaller. Like the courts are way more strict in the UK. You guys be getting hit by a car, get your foot run over by a car, and get a couple 100,000. Man, I'm trying to get on what you're on.
You say over there they ain't playing that shit, right?
I'm trying to get beaten up by a rapper and sue for a couple M's.
Yeah, I see that. I
You,
see that. I
This
see,
nigga crazy.
you can line that up for me, Wack. No, you can line that up for me.
So hold on, Trap. So why you didn't get off on Tay Savage if that was the case? Why you didn't just antagonize him until the situation till he got off on you?
No, you know what? To be fair, I actually fuck with Tay Savage. Like, I respect Tay Savage, so I wasn't trying to like disrespect him or anything like that, man. Like, I'm genuinely a fan of his, so I wasn't trying to go there with him. But shit, man, a couple Chicago guys might come through and give me a little case, couple M's.
This nigga's
Yo.
crazy.
Hey, yo, you gotta watch out though, because some of these fools be running around with fake jewelry, rental cars. So they looking the part, but it ain't that. You be mad as a motherfucker, man.
Hey, if the jewelry's fake but the strap is real, I'm still gonna run, man.
Yo, look, let me ask you something. What you think about Lil Durk getting the keys to the city doing the Muslim prayer with the other dude? What you think going? You think he trying to avoid something, or you think he for real, for real?
Man, that's a crazy question. That's a crazy question, man. Listen, I'm a big fan of Dirk, right? But man,
Yeah.
some of that music he be putting out is devilish. You know what I'm saying? He's putting out very devilish energy some of these times, man. And
But
you know
he
what I'm
got
saying?
the all white Muslim gear on now. They getting the key to the city. So what you think is going on?
Hey, you tell me, Wack. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you cause a few commotions in your city and then you convert to Islam, does that mean you're gonna be good?
That's what I was saying. But if you can see, if you convert to Islam, then it's saying you righteous right now. But then again, I'm like, how long has he been converted, and has he showed that he's traveling that righteous path?
To be fair,
Is it too early?
I feel like since Dirk converted to Islam, he has been dissing less. Like I feel like before the Islam, he was going crazy, dissing, smoking on duck. Everyone should have ducked. All of this crazy stuff. I think since he converted to Islam, he's been lowering it down because he was getting very disrespectful with it, you know, whether it's Dark or Quando or any of that stuff, man. So it was getting pretty serious.
So
But
after King Von got killed, he
mm,
went crazy, or do you think he was like mellowing out?
no, I
Because
think
remember, he had that case.
I
He
think he
had
turned up extra. You know, I feel like when Von passed away, you know, rest in peace to Von. Obviously, Von and Dirk had that case, and that case all kind of fell onto Von. You know, suddenly Dirk was completely scot
yeah,
free on that case, and I feel like he kind of turned up. You know, definitely turned up with pushing the violence and smoking dead people, and you know, what I'm saying, claiming certain things, saying no on tracks. You know, it was a very disrespectful time, man. But I feel like he's matured beyond that at the moment with the Islam, and I respect it. But man, it'd be sad to see him catch a case, but it could still happen. The Islam, unfortunately, isn't going to protect him if he has unfortunately committed a crime and been caught up. You know.
well, listen, man. I wish the best. I think when he did the J. Cole song, he started to, you know, and I think when he seen all these motherfucking RICO indictments going on, he started to kind of like
Mm.
mellow out. Like maybe I need to take a different route to this shit because it was definitely coming. Like I definitely thought it was gonna be a sweep and he was gonna be involved in one of them.
I thought so too, man. And I think the crazy thing is, you know, no disrespect to Dirk, he's lost a lot of very close friends and family to the streets over the years, which is very very unfortunate. I can't imagine the pain that he's been through. But you know, in the past few years, I think he's been unfortunately associated with a lot of cases and situations that have been very high profile. And you know, the reality is that in a couple of situations, you know, the people that were essentially his connection to that case passed away. You know, I definitely wouldn't say that he had anything like. I think Chicago is just a very violent place, and you know, a lot of people lose their lives very young. But you know, if Dirk's brother Defang was alive, he was mentioned in the murder of FBG Duck case as having allegedly paid for Duck's location before the murder. So
Oh shit.
obviously he's no longer with us, right? But you know, the situation could have been different if he was still alive, and then they could connect the situation to Dirk somehow. That possibly could have seen Dirk wrapped up into the actual FBG Duck murder case. But at the same time, clearly, if there was no evidence, he's not in the case. So clearly, there was no evidence to associate him with a
But
crime.
we're
But
seeing
if
one just like that down in Memphis with
mm,
with uh you know old boy's brother and his company. So what you just said actually is it's a little closer because I don't know to what involvement Dirk's brother was as far as when it come to his label. So we're seeing the same thing you just said going along with Big Juke down there.
Let me ask you this, Wack, right? Because this is a historical precedent. Because for decades in the rap game, there's always been an overlap between kind of the streets and the record business. Now, probably one of the earliest, most famous instances is obviously Death Row Records,
Uh-huh.
and you know that was one of the probably the first, the biggest, the most famous example of kind of essentially, you know, gang affiliated tough guys kind of bullying their way into the music industry. And you know, obviously, what ended up happening with Death Row Records was more of a, I guess, a business downfall. And Suge Knight himself, you know, got caught up in a few legal cases. But what would you say nowadays to rappers that are maybe, you know, they're coming from the streets, they're starting their careers, they're starting their label, and they're just giving their record label and their LLC the same damn name as their actual gang in the streets? Like, what do you think of that kind of behavior?
Bad, no, don't do it because they're going to link it and call it a criminal organization.
Mm.
You know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
how you lose your legal money, right? You're making money from
Yeah,
music. Suddenly, it's
definitely.
under the name of the gang.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right?
Mm,
Let's say you had a corporation and this corporation was just for your vehicles. So when the
mm,
police run the plates, this what comes up, right? You're
mm,
registering your vehicles to your corporations.
mm.
Would you want your shit to be called Murder Game Music, right? Or would you want it to be called, Pimp That Bitch Incorporated, right? Or would you want it to be called R&R Legal?
Mm, mm.
Which
Well,
one
that's
would which one would you want it to be called when the police get behind there and run the place? My
facts.
shit gonna say R&R Legal, right?
Mm,
They see all the other shit, they pulling you over, they're tying you and they associating you to some negative shit, to some bullshit. So now they gotta get away from that. They gotta
mm.
learn how to separate business from the bullshit.
That's facts. But you know what it is, man. I feel like, you know, look, I don't know about you, but I'm a law-abiding citizen. Okay, I don't break any laws. I don't even drive over the speed limit. Okay, Wack, like I'm a good citizen. I'm a civilian. I'm an NPC. But I feel like if you're if you're a rapper, even if you name your business and your LLC something positive, like if you're really out here pushing violence, making music about spinning on people, and it's not just entertainment, and you're really living that lifestyle, no matter what you call the business, the feds are going to come from you. And I would always say to rappers, man, if you come from the streets and you get rich, I pray that you just leave that behind and become an entertainer. Because I think if Von was still here, he would probably be on trial for having used his rap money to fund some of these murders that kept happening. And it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like this generation, it's like the line between the streets and the music is actually non-existent anymore. The music is almost gone beyond art, and it's almost like the music's it's like battle music. What do you think of that?
Like it's say that again.
Well, like I would say, like back in the Death Row Records days, right? It was like the I don't know. Obviously, Tupac really was a street guy, but he was an entertainer at the end of the day, and he was making empowering music. But like nowadays, it seems like the gangs, like the music is just it's kind of the music is just the battle cry for killing people, right? Like, how do you feel like the mentality's changed over the years with
No,
kind
I
of
see what you're saying.
street influence in music?
I see what you're saying. At one point, and actually, even Tupac, you know what? Tupac kind of initiated this shit because at one
Mm,
point in time, he was making street music, pain music, reality music.
mm,
Things that we was going through, Dear
mm,
Mama and shit like that, right? Me and my girlfriend, shit like that. But then once Hit 'Em Up came, you know
mm,
what I'm saying, and then that song led to possible violence. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm.
These youngsters is doing what they know. They're
Yeah.
doing what the industry is saying, like this is what we want to hear. Now they're in a reset mode. They're saying we don't want to hear none of that shit. We actually dropping you artists. We're not signing you. And I think they're confused on what it is they are to do today. You know what I'm saying? Unless their indie channels is showing and telling them otherwise, I think they just hit reset on them, locked the doors, bolted down the windows, and we're still trying to figure out what does work for us. We're in that state,
Mm,
and I think it's a gift and a curse because yes, it's gonna stop a lot of the random immediate violence because these motherfuckers is kill a motherfucker at 12 o'clock. They go do a song, be done by 2. Shot a motherfucking video of them doing the song, and by 5 o'clock, that shit's up on academics, slid on Pookie, and they
mm,
showing the murder scene that just really happened. It's fresh. It ain't even 10 hours old. So next thing you know, guess what? The ops want to do one too, and it really just made the fire burn. Killing been going on, gang banging been going on, street
mm,
politics been going on, but the way they started to do the music, the access that they had to the independent platforms to promote that music that quick. Think about it, bro. It would take a motherfucker damn near 6 to 9 months to do a project and line it up to be promoted.
mm.
We could promote at the click of a button. I can go on there right now and be like, yeah, you bitch ass niggas on the south side. That's why that nigga brains over there in the McDonald's parking lot. You bitch ass nigga, we up one, sin. And it's out.
Yeah, that's crazy. So let me ask you this, man. Having been around for so many different eras of famous hip hop beefs, do you feel like the kind of the King Von and Lil Durk versus FBG Duck and kind of Quando and Youngboy, do you feel like that beef is as big as the Biggie Tupac beef was back in the day?
I think it's more violent
Mm,
because Biggie's not dead because of Tupac, and Tupac's not dead because of Biggie.
mm,
These other people, they bodies is tied in.
yeah.
And even though they're gone, it's a lot of other bodies that people didn't know the names to, right?
Mm,
That's happening. You get what I'm saying?
mm,
So, like, yeah, I definitely believe it's more violent, it's more real.
mm,
Biggie was Biggie and Tupac was Tupac. So you got bigger names per se, but the actual situation, oh no, that was a bigger situation in the street because it just didn't stop with them. And neither one of them are dead because of each other. These
mm,
other dudes is really tied to each other.
We
mm.
done lost half our city to that shit for real, for real.
Facts, man. Facts. Hey, that's 16 in here, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What's that
16.
word? What's that word?
Hey,
Wack
what's
track.
cracking, man? How you
Yo,
been?
shit
Look,
cooling, man.
look, look at this nigga name. Trap boy, look at it. What is that? 16 shot him. Now, he's smart enough to know how to, turn that into some business shit, right? Because this man ain't no dummy, right? But again, yes, I think the industry, those people over there in that building, then said, "Hey, enough is enough.
Mm,
Enough is enough. Even though we grow you and get you big, we getting the backlash. It's bad for business. We got enough money out of you guys, and we're just gonna pull the plug, and
mm,
we're gonna roll it into something else until y'all figure out what works for y'all. But we're no longer supporting this. No way overnight that they fire over 2,000 execs, go public. UMG goes public in the stock market, and all the motherfucking body numbers drop 40%.
mm,
That
mm,
means something was definitely going on internally.
mm.
16, what you think about that?
They was trying to blame it on some Diddy shit, but I don't think that's
Nah,
real.
nigga, it already happened. Nigga, it was already going on about a year, 18 months before Diddy's downfall.
They probably just tired of this shit. It's a repeating cycle. People
There
doing
you
this
go.
shit die, and then people following it think they gonna make it, and then they die. Like way more people die than make it with this shit. Like
Bro, I had the club promoter call me and say, Wack, we looking for R&B. You got some R&B guys? Wack, what's up, man? Listen, man, people scared. Niggas thinking they gonna get shot in the thing, outside the thing. They scared.
Mm.
for sure, like a nigga like Chief Keef, I ain't gonna lie. Like he inspired a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. Like he the reason why a lot of people actually did get a career. But there's so many more people that chased that dream that didn't make it, that died. And it's like they don't pay attention to the numbers. There's way more people dying chasing this shit, and then they just let a few make it, and that's who get like that's who gets shown, and people just keep following this trap. Like I hate sometimes even doing interviews because it's like
Are you gonna
it's
promote some bullshit without wanting to?
yeah, it's hard to do what I wanted to do originally. Once I learned like how this shit really is and how this shit really work.
Listen, look what Charleston White trying to do to Chicago right now.
Mm.
That's fake content.
What
But
he's talking about? He got shot out here or
he got
something.
shot. He released that. He got them people doing that. I done called every side of Chicago. Nigga, you in here now, right? You would know, right? They like, whack, that shit ain't happening out here. This nigga using Chicago name because he didn't talk crazy because ain't nothing else going on with the nigga name but him getting arrested and telling and then high. And the nigga was high at a light for 30 minutes, wouldn't move. You know what I'm saying? So now he want to put some shit out. Shot Chicago nigga shot me. But it's fake,
Yeah.
right? Guess why? Because it's more believable. Why didn't he say some Minnesota niggas? Some Texas nigga. They don't like your ass down there either. But no, let me put this light on Chicago. Why you got Dirk up here? Why you got Dirk up here saying he's, uh, devoted Muslim and they done gave him keys to two different areas, on some positive shit. Nah, let's put this negative shit back on there. You know what I'm saying? Let's put this shit.
Wack, let me ask you something, man. Let me ask you something, because
Yeah.
since I've been out here in LA, I've been doing interviews with different people from different LA sets, Bloods, Crips, all types of
hmm
shit, and I feel like the mindset out here is so different to Chicago. I feel like people out here move so much more disciplined. They
Yeah,
move with
well,
way
it's
more
more structure.
history. You know what I'm saying?
It's more structure. It's more structure. I mean, you got to remember. Hold on. Let me post some shit. We got homeboys in their 70s, late 60s and 70s. So it's like even myself, I'm like fourth generation or some shit like that, fourth, fifth
Mm,
generation. So
mm,
when you're dealing with that, it's more structure. In Chicago, the youngsters, they listen to niggas that might be 28.
mm.
You know what I'm
Shit,
saying?
if that, it's like 16-year-olds listening to 21-year-olds, or
Yeah.
kids listening to
They
other
listen to
kids for real,
motherfuckers
for real.
might be 28. Watch this. Now, this is all you guys heard this individual's name. It's a funeral they just had. All y'all heard this individual name. Tupac used to scream it. Y'all hear Big Rock got knocked, but this one's for you. That's Rock Chisholm. Rest in peace. He was doing life in prison for a motherfucking gun.
Mm.
Back in the day where they niggas just got the stash spots, right? But pay attention to that photo of my PTR. Look how old those individuals are. That LPP, you know what I'm saying? That's Ludus Park Paru. That mean they the ones sent that floor arrangement. But Brock was from Elm Street Paru. He was doing life for a pistol, been in there, shit, 24, probably 27 years or 28 years. When he got so sick, the prison didn't want to pay for it, so they released him. And within like couple months, he passed away, right? So that just happened a couple days ago. But look how old those individuals are. You get what
Mm.
I'm saying? Now, them is real power rules, real bloods up in that picture that's still active today. So if they 65, then you got some people up under them 58, 55. Then it's another division up under them, 50 to 55. Then you got the 45 to 50 where I fall, fourth generation. Then under me, that 38 to 45. And then under them, you know, 30 to 38. So it's like if a dude is 30 years old, 90% of the chance I'm not talking to him. My homeboy up under me, I'm gonna talk to him and he gonna talk to them. They don't have that in Chicago.
Mm.
And then the youngsters in Chicago, if you ain't getting no money or you got nothing going for yourself, they ain't gonna respect you anyway. They don't want to hear nothing you talking about. Period. You don't, you fucked up in the streets on heroin, asking them for a handout. You can't come over there telling them nothing. And I was telling them, I believe if they release Larry Hoover today, shout out to Larry Hoover, those streets, as it is today, he couldn't shut that down. He couldn't stop. I don't know. I could be speaking out of turn. 16 in here,
I
Chuck in
feel
here.
I feel that too. Like I do feel like it's still a lot of people who gonna listen to what he got to say, but it's a lot of shorties who never even experienced, his realm at all. Like all he is like a legend to them. So it's like a nigga like that coming home and telling the nigga what to do that been out here by himself. They gonna look at you like what you did for me. Like if a motherfucker come in and find a way for people to make money, and anybody that go against it, they get dealt with. Maybe then, yeah, but just come in thinking him being who he is, the shorties don't respect it. They don't even respect their fucking parents.
That's a fact.
Hey,
They,
Wack, I feel like recently we've been seeing a lot of beef between different cities. Like we got situations where you got guys in Philly are beefing with guys in Chicago now. We done seen crews click up in different states to kind of beef with each other. Like, what do you think as far as like gangsters from different states pressing each other? Should different
well, I
cities
don't.
and states respect each other or not?
Are we talking about rappers?
I mean, rappers, but like nowadays, the rappers
Rappers
got the
that's in the
gangsters
streets.
behind them.
Yeah, because see, here go the thing. If a rapper from Chicago and it's a rapper from Philly, and they getting into it, yeah, they side, they streets, they city gonna stand behind them. If it's something of that magnitude, but that ain't gonna have all of Chicago saying fuck Philly and all of Philly saying fuck Chicago.
Yeah, because everybody already don't get along. Shit.
Hey,
Yeah,
do
so
you do you ever feel like there could be another thing like the East Coast versus West Coast rap beef, like a full blown Chicago versus another city type beef? You know what I'm saying? Like East versus West was a big thing back in the day, right?
The right person
yeah, it,
die.
it it drove it drove the music industry, but it wasn't street, it was industry. That was Death Row and Bad Boy.
Mm,
We didn't niggas fuck with Bad Boy, nigga. We listened to Bad Boy music. It wasn't like
mm,
fuck New York because of back. Nah, it was those two labels. One happened to be on the east, one happened to be on the west. But the media spun it that way. Those
mm,
people that didn't have to be in the middle of that storm spun that way. The
mm,
people overall, I've never seen, even when it was a dude named Tim Dog out of New York who came with a song called Fuck Compton,
damn.
right? He made a song. Even that, niggas from Cali and Compton was like, it's on with Tim Dog. They didn't
Mm,
say fuck New York. You didn't see DJ Quick and nobody respond with a fuck New York song.
yeah.
So no, I don't think it's that deep. I don't know what y'all hearing up there, 16. Is it that deep up there with that?
Hey, what you hearing,
Nah, it
16?
it it, it just be people from like it's like the internet. Like if I'm from Chicago and I say fuck a Philly rapper and all my homies saying it, but they from different hoods, the internet think that's the whole Chicago. It's just personal with us and these niggas. But people get on the bandwagon people that's not even involved and make it look like it's more than what the shit is. It's really just a few hoods that all fuck with each other. That's all on one accord. Shit, if they into it with them, they all into it with them. But it's also another side of niggas who gonna be like, you good. I just did an interview with some niggas. I probably drop it today. They all saying like, Quani, you good. Come to our block. Ain't shit gonna happen. So it's always two sides.
Hey, 16. What's the worst experience you've had doing an interview, man? Have you ever had an interview go left, shoot out, something crazy?
Shit, the shootout shit, I wouldn't say that's the worst. Probably going to jail.
For real?
Yeah.
What, from an interview?
Not from an interview, but it's like, that's why I stopped shooting music videos, because it's like,
Mm,
interviews, I can control the environment. I can control everything. You know, a music video, you booking me to come where you want me to come to put your vision out. So if that's on your block and you got the
mm,
hottest block, the police always smacking that bitch. And I got to protect myself. So I got
mm,
tired of getting in situations like that. I
mm,
did this shit to escape this type of shit. And it was getting me catching more cases. I'm catching gun cases
mm.
on other niggas' blocks that I don't got no beef on.
That's crazy, man. Hey, let me ask you this, bro. Like, I don't kind of agree with this narrative, but a lot of people say like, oh, the interviews like push the violence. Now, I don't personally agree. I feel like if people want to sit down and do an interview and talk their shit, they put that out there, right? It's not your fault that somebody wanted to do an interview and disrespect somebody. But at the same time, like, what do you say to people who say that the interviews are the problem?
I think we definitely should be held responsible for some of the shit we do, for sure.
Mm,
Like, don't get me wrong, like me, my intentions don't be fucked up, but just because my intentions ain't fucked up don't mean shit don't happen behind some of the actions I take. But you know, a motherfucker just human, we just men. It's different when you know what you're doing and you just don't give a fuck. Like
mm,
I
But
know
you can,
y'all fuck with
in
Adam and
my
shit, but
opinion, you can
Adam,
ask whatever questions you want. It's up to them how they answer.
it
that's
is,
facts.
it is for sure. Cause it's like they the street niggas, they supposed to know. But at the end of the day, like some people, bro, they are very aware of what the fuck they doing and don't care.
Mm,
It's
mm,
like when you intentionally instigate just because you know the other side gonna have something to say, and now you got another interview, and
mm.
you keep having them go back and forth. Like that's kind of evil because it's like you making money off of it. You don't give a fuck, but
Mm.
it's real consequences happen behind this shit. And I ain't saying like these niggas not grown, and you know you can't just blame a grown man for what other grown men do, but you can pay attention to a nigga intention.
Yeah, that's for real, man. That's for real. It's interesting to me, man, because I feel like this is something I wanted to ask Wack, which is like obviously you've kind of seen the history of the streets kind of evolve. The death row era. It felt like gangsters were kind of in the music industry, but not. It wasn't really clear cut. Whereas nowadays, it's like people are sitting down to do interviews. They never released a song. They're just a famous gangster. Like I feel like I don't know, Wack. Could you have ever imagined like 20, 30 years ago that gangsters would be sitting down to do real interviews for YouTube views?
Yeah, you know why? Because motherfuckers like John Gotti started it.
Mm,
Motherfuckers like what's my man from New York? He turned rat. Um,
Sammy the Bull.
Alpo.
Oh yeah,
no,
Chef
no,
Stanley.
no, the other one. Nah, from Harlem. What's the nigga told on his homies? They fuck his bitch. Um, Nick. What's his nigga
Nicky
name?
Barnes.
Nicky Barnes.
mm,
Nicky Barnes and start. These niggas was going on motherfucking the cover of magazines, right? So it was definitely believable. Now it was being frowned on. It was frowned upon back then. And then I think the real change was the rappers of our time were street reporters. They wasn't really doing what they were rapping about. Ice
mm,
Cube ain't never been to the penitentiary or substation, but he
mm.
lived in it and he saw it and he went through some things with the police, so on and so forth. But Ice Cube's not a gang banger or a gang member. He may be associated with the area he come from, but then you look up and you got a little motherfucker, that's really from right here. That he really from, you know what I'm saying? This really what it is. He's really running the block, and now he's on a fucking a video with the niggas really on the block. These ain't no extras.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? So in a sense, we start doing the police job for them.
mm,
All they had to do was wait for us to pay for the video, make the song, edit the video, and put it up. Then they took it and just identified everybody in the video, zoom in, okay, there go a gun. Wait, ain't that little LQ? They say little LQ might have shot the nigga at the corner last week. Is that a 40 caliber he's flashing in there? Okay, we can use that as enough of probable cause to get a search warrant to hit his house to see if that's really the gun. You see
Mm,
how I start working? So
mm,
it's like the clout and the fame start taking precedent over the rules of the streets, which is to get away.
mm,
They said, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I'm going all in today. If I get caught tomorrow for it, fuck it. And then when they cuff them, they calling in and they got their people. Here go my IG code. Record this call and put it out.
mm.
So it's different. It ain't, it's no street code. No, what is the code of the street?
It's true. It's, but what do you feel made the street code kind of disappear, right? Because it's like people don't respect the morals that used to be so important. But like, what happened? Like, where did that go? Is it all clout?
Niggas
Like,
ain't
why are
killing
people
these
moving like
niggas.
this?
There ain't no
Mur-
it ain't
uh,
no
It
consequences to
ain't no
shit.
consequences behind it no more.
no consequences. And the way people got money before is different now.
Mm,
They like, okay, you got to be known for people to listen to you, and so we got to do these things and do that and do this and say that. When
mm.
people was getting money, um, the way we got way back in the day, they didn't put that on camera. Now it's like they go
Yeah,
rob
sounds good.
some shit and put the money on their camera, which will in turn tie you back to the robbery. It's different, and the consequences.
Like, what's the reason that people snitch? Because they scared to go to jail, right?
Yeah, yeah. Today,
So if you was most scared to
to
die,
die
yeah, you see what I'm
or
saying.
your
So it's like,
family member get killed.
yeah. So that's it's like that's why I don't even listen. I don't even listen to people when they talk about interviewing snitches. I used to didn't do it, but then I thought about it like, bro,
Yeah,
if
you was
y'all
one
so
of them
mad about
niggas.
this shit
You was one
and
of them
y'all
niggas
supposed to be
had
the
something
street
to say
niggas,
about me.
do y'all
Yeah.
business. You
16, you had something to say about me when I interviewed 6ix9ine. Tell the truth. Tell the
no, I
truth,
didn't.
16.
I ain't understand it though, but I ain't speak on it though.
Wait. You didn't understand it back then, or do you understand it now?
I get it now for sure. I just didn't understand it because like I'm pretty sure I might be wrong. Pretty sure I'd have seen you like go in on niggas for ratting. So I didn't get it. I'm like,
Okay,
why
so
he doing
look,
it with him?
I'm gonna tell you why I did it. I watched about 10 interviews with 16. I mean with 6ix9ine, right? And everybody interviewing wasn't from the streets. And 6ix9ine was spinning the fuck out of them. He get to hollering and yelling and screaming and saying this and saying that, and they didn't really have no comeback because they just got a big name in front of them, and they don't really know what to say about the streets because they ain't from the streets. So I said, you know what? Somebody from the streets need to interview this dude to put him in a box and make him see what he ain't. And I believe I'm the first one that did it.
Nah,
That's
for
all it was. He was winning 16. The nigga was still beating us because he interviewing about the streets with motherfuckers that ain't from the streets, and he coming out to interviews victorious.
yeah, because they don't know how to deal with it.
They didn't know how to deal with it. I sat him down. I said, well, what makes you think you was from that set? Did you get put on? No. Did you put in some work? No. You was just paying them, right? Right. So that means you really wasn't from the set. And even the niggas that had you around shit was in violation, even exposing you to all that. They should have kept you in the club, kept you in front of a camera, and sent your ass home. So again, I'm asking you, what made, and he couldn't, he like, nah, I never did none of that. I said, so, cause you was taking care of you niggas and they letting you holler and scream, and he told the story. I said, how all them niggas, he said, Wack, when I did that video with all them niggas with them red bandanas, I went and brought all the red bandanas, pulled up on the block, turned on the radio, and started performing and started passing them out. And the niggas got caught up in the moment and started flagging. That lets me know that that set has no structure and no discipline. For one, you shouldn't be able to just pull up on a block. I don't give a fuck who you. Hey, Wack, who was that with you, my nigga? Who is that? Who is this nigga? What's happening with this? Right? So there's no structure, no discipline on those blocks where he was at. And about 3 months after that, he called my phone at midnight and said, Wack, you right. I ain't no gangster. I know you not. You's an opportunist.
See, I
16.
feel
I
weird when
can't
you telling
accept him being me, bro. Can you accept 16, 6ix9ine being you?
you said being me.
Yeah, nigga, cause he was stepping in that lane, like as if nigga on y'all.
I feel like I feel like I be having a weird feeling when it comes to six
We
nine because
talk
it's like
about streets.
Get bored with the killing music, but I don't necessarily think it's just because it's killing. Because I think if people just straight up rejected the killing music, I don't think drill would have ever even taken off. I think what people are tired of is they've heard the same tired drill songs about we spun this op on this block and shot, we're smoking on this guy, I got 7 bodies, 8 bodies, 9 now, Jeff's got 11 bodies. I think people are just tired of that same old thing, because I feel like as much as I love drill music and I love the aggressive energy that it gives me, I'm listening to King Von in the gym, I'm not killing people, but like I feel like we've kind of heard it all before, and sometimes drill music can be very one-dimensional. Like I'd love to see, like I love when King Von does a little love song. I know people hate No Flaws, but like I think that's a cute hard song, pause, but you know what I mean. Like I feel like if the drill rappers actually got out of their lane and started making music for a wider audience, I think the scene could grow. But at the end of the day, only so many people want to hear music about killing people. But now when we go to the, but she makes, that's the thing, she low-key makes drill music, but it don't make sense.
But hold
music.
on, would it be pop drill? Because
I guess
that's
it
all
would be
she.
pop drill.
It
Yeah, I
would be
guess it'd be
pop
pop
drill,
drill.
bro.
But that's like a new thing, right?
I
But
guess
here's the thing.
if you
Here's
create
the
your own
thing.
genre.
You don't got to be Ice Spice to make a pop drill record and go on Billboard. All of these guys that are gangbanging, making music, talking about smoking this guy down the street that just got killed, they could be making pop records and having a successful life and getting out of those situations. And I feel like that's one of the things, like, I feel is very unfortunate about this scene, is that you got so many talented guys making good music, but all about killing people. And it's a shame people don't apply themselves to like more positive things. I mean, even you take someone like Dolph, he was super affiliated with the streets, but he's making motivational music, you know, music that you get up and go and hustle to. It wasn't all about killing people. Yeah, he had his problems, but it wasn't just all that negative energy. You know, Dolph's music gets you charged up, and it's not really that violent.
So then
Yeah,
how do
it's
you?
hard to tell that to a city though, like a city like
Mm,
Chicago, where
mm,
like we really got our traction from this killing shit for real. Like, don't
yeah.
get me wrong, a lot of artists are talented, but that ain't really what got people paying attention. They wasn't just like, oh, Chicago just super talented. It was the storyline, it was the drill. So it's like when y'all be saying like they probably tired of it, I don't believe that when it comes to here. I think if that shit go away, nobody pays attention.
Well, let me hit you with the other side of it, right? Because I feel like you say people are tired of drill, but it's like drill still kind of popping. Like
Try
there's
the
still a lot
old
of
drill.
activity going down. You know what I'm
You gotta
saying? Like,
reinvent it.
but what I'm trying to say is that like I think the thing that keeps people interested long term is like the stories and the storytelling. Because really, like, let's be real, man. When you hear these songs about this guy did this guy's smoking on who, and like this is what my profession essentially is. Like people want to know who Tuka is and who you're smoking on and what the fucking story is behind
That's a
this
fact.
song with 80 goons all with guns in the video talking about smoking this person. It's intriguing, you know, and it makes you wonder like what is this? Like what who is this person who's getting smoked? Like what is this block I'm looking at?
And
And you
that's
know
what I'm
that's
saying. The difference
Hey,
with the
top
drill
Lil
shit,
Ross,
like
you
Ice
remember
But see,
Spice,
Zach
six,
TV?
but
you
16,
can't.
he
You
he
say what?
right though.
You
It's the
remember Zach
content, bro.
TV?
Yeah,
do I
RP
fuck with
Zach.
Zach TV? Yeah.
You
RIP,
remember?
man.
You know what's crazy? Everybody in them videos are either dead or in jail.
Man,
And
it's
what
sad, man.
videos? Talking about his old shits.
Yeah, all this shit. You know, Zach TV died years ago in Chicago, but he the one
Yeah,
who
I
got
was,
like help put him on
I,
the
was, I
map.
was, I was there. I was there that night he died. That's why it's crazy that
Man,
like I'm doing what I'm doing now because I wasn't doing that back then.
that's crazy, man. It's
Yeah.
a tragic situation, man. You know, and it's fucked up. The amount of people that DM me talking about I'm gonna go out like Zach TV. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up. And really, he was just trying to put the scene on and promote people and shine a spotlight on this kind of scene that was really booming at the time. And for him to go out like that, super sad, man. It makes me very upset.
I
Yeah, they,
think
they told me the
everything.
same shit when I first started. They was like, "You gonna be the next Zach." I didn't know if that was like a good thing, like, yeah, you up next, you Zach, or like,
A good thing or a
yeah,
bad thing? Yeah. No, that's facts, man. It's messed up. Hey, I got a question for Wack. I'm gonna change gears. Is Wack still here?
He's on the
He on
Yeah,
the
I'm
phone. Looks
here.
phone
like
He's
right
on the
right
phone.
now.
now.
Hey,
I'm
when
here.
he
I'm
He
when
here.
he's
right
back,
there.
I got a
He
crazy
right
question
there.
for him.
He's
I'm
back.
here. I'm here. I'm
Hey,
here.
Wack. So I know that you were kind of involved in and sort of on the in the business side of the whole, Ray J, Kim K tape and stuff. Would you say that Adam and Lena's tape is like on the same level as the Kim K Ray J tape for this generation?
I don't know. I've never seen the Adam and Lena's tape. I don't watch his wife.
No, but for the impact, like it was popping. It was booming when that thing came out, right?
Well, no, I mean the only one I knew was crazy was Lena and the black dude.
No,
yeah,
but
that's
that's what
what.
I mean. I mean that scene was like big, like the Kim Ray J tape.
Real,
No.
but that ain't got nothing to do with Adam. See,
I
Ray
mean,
J,
Adam
Ray,
masterminded that shit though. Adam's the mastermind of that shit.
I don't know about that. See,
Nah.
I told Adam, I said, listen, Adam, I said, I think you've been bamboozled and hoodwinked and hustled. Now
Damn, you feel
follow
like
me.
that.
No Jumper was already there. SoundCloud shit, was already there doing the thing, the growth, right? Here comes Lena. Lena had nothing to do with Lena had nothing to do with nothing, right? And next thing you know, hey, babe, let's do this thing called plug talk. And we bring in another one female, it'd be me, you, and another female. Adam jumps on that, right? Right. Right?
Hey,
Time
listen.
goes on. Time goes on. Lena grows. Plug talk grows. It went from bringing a female with my man to one-on-one with a man.
What? So you think Lena masterminded the whole thing to get the BBC?
I told my brother Adam, I think Lena run a play. Now
Nah, no way, man.
Adam tells me he has the proof that it was all his idea, right? Now,
Okay.
did he have something to do with the idea? Absolutely, because there's no way she would have went through with it without his consent and permission. Now, my question to you, do you think Adam regrets it today?
Nah, not at all. I don't think he regrets it one bit.
Hell yeah, he do. Cause dudes got to doing too much.
Hell yeah, because now
Nah, I
See,
think he knows exactly. I
because
think
now he got
everybody else
Aiden
getting
Ross.
played.
Now he got Aiden
see,
Ross asking him on live and shit like that now.
He definitely
see,
regrets
Adam's
it.
a little tricky, right? Because
That's entertainment,
I'm gonna
man. They're
tell you
killing
why
it.
Adam's tricky, right? Because after that, he did another segment to where he allowed it to happen again. So I don't know if he allowed it to happen again to be like, hey, you stupid motherfuckers, shut up. I'm not tripping. If I was, I wouldn't be allowing it to happen again, right? You know what I'm saying? Or was the money just that good where he didn't give a fuck?
I feel like
I
though,
That's
if
the
he
think it
did
was the
question
the
for
fact he
money.
fucking
did it
Adam we
again,
gotta ask.
the fact he
Man,
did it
Adam actually
again,
lying, bro. It was a
I
point in
think it
time
was
he
the
said, I got too much money, I'll never do nothing like that. And
man.
now you doing it. What changed?
Hey, listen, man. The Adam and Lena, I feel like they're kinky with it, man. This is what they're into. Like this is a normal day at the office for them. I feel like everyone else is very insecure about their sexuality and their masculinity, and feel like they're very threatened by what he's doing. But I ain't see nothing wrong with it.
I think the nigga was like, nah, at first, but then she was like, why not? And then she started belittling him, so then he started to grow into going ahead
Nah,
with
she
the
ain't
action.
belittle. No. We're not doing that. No, she never belittled her husband. That doesn't happen.
Nah, right?
We
Nah. I
not
thought.
doing that. You
I,
not doing that to my coat to the 22 skirt. That not happening.
Hey, Trap, I heard you was next in line.
Got you.
nah. I feel like they're masterminds, man. I feel like they're smart. I feel like everybody's getting played by them, and they're doing exactly what they want to do, man. So I don't know. I feel like it's a very interesting one. I just feel like when that
Bro,
drops,
watch the segment of me and R&B on Plug Talk. This shit gonna go crazy.
hey, we need that, man. Pause, but we need that.
But yo, maybe he thought it was gonna go big like the Ray J and Kim Kardashian thing if
Oh
they
no,
did it.
it went big.
I feel like it
They
did though.
did?
That's what I'm saying. I
Hold
feel
up.
like that was Kim K, Ray J for like this
The
generation.
only difference is Ray J's move made a whole family superstars. So
Mm,
it was a bigger boom.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So this, it did something for Adam and Lena. Uh, Dude probably reaped some benefits, but that Ray J move, bro, it started the rise of the Kardashians. Remember at that time,
Right.
Kim K was the motherfucking assistant going to pick up clothes for Brandy.
Mm.
Yeah, man. That
Yeah,
shit
no,
went skyrocketed.
that's crazy. Kim K came up, man. I don't think anyone did it better.
Well, good evening, Mr. Traplore. I definitely have a question for you if you're open to questions.
Yeah, I'm open to it. Let's do it.
All right, so this one is a little complex. I like to ask complex questions, so get
Okay.
ready for the ride, Mr. Traplore.
All right, let's go.
So, okay, let's go. Period. So, as someone from the UK diving into American hip hop culture and its
Mm,
darker side, how do you perceive the responsibility of telling these stories authentically? Do you ever
mm.
feel like you're walking a thin line between documentation and exploitation? Let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I like that question. I would say, like, what I do is I'm trying to report on, like, the most important things that are relevant in the culture right now. For me, my whole story is that I've been a hip hop fan for life. Like, I've never listened to any other genre of music. That's all I listen to. I love hip hop. I've been obsessed with hip hop my entire life. Like, I would say that I'm obsessed with hip hop. I'm a giant fan. I've spent thousands over the years of buying records and buying merch and just consuming this culture that I love, honestly. And, you know, one thing leads to another. I end up becoming a journalist, talking about the music that I love, telling the stories. And, you know, unfortunately, we're in a generation where the music's got incredibly violent. You know, drill music kind of boomed over the last few years. I wasn't doing stories on gangsters and drill when I first started out. I was doing more like rap beefs, Rick Ross versus 50 Cent type stuff. And ultimately, I feel like my content kind of got more violent and more serious as the music scene got more violent and serious. And I feel like as drill music took off, there was really an absence of actually responsible reporting on this topic. I feel like so much of the, not even the reporting, but like the art and the culture, like the lyrics, smoking on dead people, dissing the dead, spinning the block, sharing videos of people getting killed on Reddit, you know, interviews, people fighting, or not fighting, but like dissing each other in interviews and that leading to violence. I think there's just been so much noise and negativity that I think actually the scene needs somebody to kind of break these stories down in a responsible way. And I feel like a lot of people come at me without really consuming all of my content, but I feel like if you consume a full length video of mine start to finish, you'll see that I try and take very good care to tell a story respectfully, to tell the history of the area, to tell the kind of socio-economic background of a story or of a hood or of a rapper that I'm discussing, so that I give people the full context. And I always try and let people know that, like, I don't condone the violence. I think the violence should stop. I don't believe in the beefing. I think the negativity shouldn't continue and that people should move forward positively. And I always try and end my videos with a positive message. And I think that really what I'm trying to do, I didn't start this drill culture. People want to act like I'm the reason people are dying. Like, this has been going on. You know, Brandon said it's like blaming the weatherman for it raining. And it's like, this drill stuff was already going on. I'm just trying to bring a responsible and a very detailed take. You know, I'm making 4, 5, 6 hour videos on these topics. I'm not just jumping in saying, this guy shot this guy hard, that's so funny, like, this is hilarious, he needs to spin. Like, I'm trying to be very careful, giving a socio-economic breakdown of like why conditions are so fucked up in certain areas, why things have led to that, and then also why the music is actually so powerful, how these young guys that are going through the trenches and going through the streets are actually using the music to tell their stories and give the world a window into how they're living. And for me, I'm just trying to be a responsible journalist. I know a lot of people don't see eye to eye with me, but I really believe in what I do, and I'm honestly trying to bring just an honest and a reasonable and a decent breakdown to these topics that are the biggest trending topics. You know, people want to act like I made King Von famous. Von has had 50, 60 million view videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's so much bigger than me. I'm just a journalist trying to help the understanding of this artist that already had a massive impact. You know, I'm really a small cog in the machine, and I really try and conduct myself responsibly. So that's kind of my response to that. And I'm always down to debate with people and get into
So,
the details. But that's how I feel, and I feel like I act with integrity.
So, quick
so
question.
thank you
Oh, my
for.
bad, Empress. Go ahead.
Ooh, thank you. So with that being said, I definitely had another one to follow that one up, and I feel like you started to touch it. So do you mind if I just go ahead and ask anyway?
Let's do it.
Okay, period. So, given the sensitive nature of some of the topics that you covered, that you just mentioned, like
Mm,
gang violence, trigger
mm,
warning, violence, unsolved murders,
mm,
how do you balance bringing awareness to these issues while respecting the people involved,
mm,
especially the victims' families? Because I
mm.
didn't hear you mention that. So let's talk about that part.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you murder people in the community, there's going to be reporting on these situations. I don't think anybody, especially a murderer or a killer, has a right to privacy as far as like just killing people and nobody's ever allowed to talk to it. You know, if that's the case, you know, we need to shut down Chicago Tribune, we need to shut down CNN, because I guess if you can't talk about any tragedies going on in the community, that's just free speech over, right? And we just can't ever talk about anything negative, and we're living in a 1984 dystopia. So really, I'm just reporting on stuff that's going on. Rappers getting killed, that's front page news. Anytime a rapper gets killed, I'm seeing it front page of the news, for the stuff that I'm dealing with. And it's really not a disrespect, but it's like, at the end of the day, if you're somebody that has committed murders and rapped about it and got millions of views rapping about it, we have a right to know about you. And, you know, I'll use King Von as an example. You know, I think King Von talking about his friends and his family is very important to tell his story. You can't really understand why Von was so violent and why he wanted to kill so many people without talking about the fact that his father was murdered when he was 11. He was shot by a sniper. And these are the sorts of issues that guys are growing up dealing with, and that's unfortunately what leads some guys to be violent. And I think it's really important to get the whole family context and kind of explain people's backgrounds, where they're coming from, who they're associated with over the years, to try and give people an understanding. And I'm really not trying to put anyone on blast or anything like that. I think if you kill somebody, people are going to talk about it, and you got absolutely no right to say, oh, well, I caught 2 bodies and rapped about it, but you're making a video about it, you're making it hot for me. Like, bro, you killed people and you made it hot for yourself and for your family, and people are going to talk about it now. You know, it's a very unfortunate situation. I have a lot of sympathy for, you know, the mothers and the family members of people that, you know, ended up killing people, guys that were involved in the murders of prominent rappers. That really does impact and kind of ruin their families' lives. You've got a son that's known for a high profile murder case. It's unfortunate that person is now going to be in the spotlight, but again, that's not my fault. I didn't choose for somebody to get murdered. There's always, whether it's you watch the Jeffrey Dahmer series and they talk about how it impacted his family, that's a real thing. And again, I think people just really like to try and direct everything at me. Like they want to try and act like I'm responsible for the violence, or like I'm responsible for the retaliation. Like when a rapper or a gangster rapper, drill rapper kills somebody, disses them, and then spins back, and people want to act like, well, your documentary that kind of laid out the facts in a responsible way is the reason for the violence continuing. I just think that's just untrue. I think it's a disingenuous argument, and I think the sad truth is I think a lot of people just think I shouldn't do this job because I'm white. And I understand why people might think that, and I know hip-hop is it's overall regarded as black culture, even though there's a lot of really successful white rappers. Like it is dominated by black people, a lot of really talented black people. And I think unfortunately a lot of white people that are maybe do journalism on the sidelines of this genre of music that they love, get a lot of heat as a result of that. And I think I think it's wrong, and I just believe in what I do, and I try and do so with integrity, and I don't intend to cause anyone drama. But at the end of the day, if you want to talk about a rapper that's on the mic talking about he's got 7 bodies in front of millions of people, I'm going to look into it, and I'm probably going to look into his family, and I'm probably going to look into the victims, and I'm probably going to look into the victims' families. And one thing that's interesting to me is like when the Von thing was kind of going on, and a lot of people said, "Oh, that's cap. You're putting dirt on his name. It's disrespectful. He didn't do any of that." I felt like that did a disservice to the victims and their families, because those people are gone, and people aren't in custody. And there's a lot of whether you talk about the KI situation, her mother's in interviews talking about she knew Von did it, and I think where's the respect for the victims' families? We want to talk about, oh well, you shouldn't be able to talk about a rapper that did a murder and any of the situations around them and their childhood, but it's like, what about the families and the friends and the people that missed their loved ones that were killed by the rappers that I'm talking about? I always try and put in that extra perspective. Like if you watch my Philly video that I did recently, in there I kind of put in obituaries of how much people are missing their friends that passed away in this gang war, or innocent people that were killed in the crossfire. And that's where the responsibility of what I do comes in. I'm not just trying to do a kill fest, bloodthirsty, violent escapade type video. I'm trying to do responsible journalism on popular drill music that unfortunately has become very violent in recent times. So that's my take on it. But I really respect your question, and I'd always break it down and explain my side of things to people.
So we can hear your
Period.
passion.
Ooh, hold on.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna pass it right to. Ooh, sorry, Mr. Kim. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Mr. Traplord. I'm going to be back after a few more of my teammates come on and ask you some questions. I'm definitely going to be back with some more complex questions for you. So thank you so much for allowing me to ask you.
I appreciate you.
I just wanted to hit you with a quick one, man, because we can hear how passionate and emphatically you speak about what you do. But how far is too far for you? Like I noticed recently, you've had rappers try to clout chase, pulling up on you, etc. Do you fear for your safety? And how far are you willing to go to continue to produce your content?
That's a good question, man. I'll be honest with you, man. Sometimes I do fear for my safety, because I do get a lot of threats. I'm dealing with, gangster rappers. I'm dealing with dangerous individuals, gang members, people that have lost loved ones, people that have taken other people's lives. And it is a dangerous game that I'm playing. But at the same time, I feel like it's important to be able to stand up for what you believe in. Like, I feel like if you're making music about killing people, it's getting millions of views, we have a right to talk about it. We have a right to have a discussion about it. Same way when Taylor Swift drops a song dissing this person, or she's endorsing Trump, everyone's got a right to talk about it. If Q50 jumps out saying I've got my 8th body now, why shouldn't we be able to talk about that? And if anything, that's a very extreme thing to put out there in society. And of course, we're going to have something to say about it. So for me, I feel like I've got to stand on what I believe in. This is the music I love. I've become a journalist in this field, and I'm not going to let anyone bully or intimidate me into not doing what I feel like I was put here to do. But at the same time, I got to move with caution. You know what I'm saying? I know it gets real out there. I know that people I've probably got a few issues with people that want to bump into me. So I got to be careful. I got to protect my safety, and I try and move correct. But yeah, it's definitely risks that come with this, man. I'm not sure everyone always appreciates what actually comes with this shit.
Yo, Trap, how you doing? This your boy Crazy Chaos right here.
Hey, what's happening?
What's going on? What's your top 5 on monumentals that's coming up that you like, and what's your top bottom that you think that's not really there?
We talking rap wise?
Right, of course.
So my top five is very controversial, man. But I'm just gonna go with it, man. My number one rapper right now, man, is YoungBoy. Like I feel like YoungBoy is actually the greatest rapper of this generation. I feel like YoungBoy has actually got one of the most versatile flows and styles. He makes love songs, he makes pain songs, he makes gangster songs, he makes murder music. There's so much music in his catalog that I think a lot of people can't find the good stuff, and I feel like they don't actually like they don't really take it in the way that they should. And unfortunately, I think he's a very misunderstood, very like I know he's very highly rated, but I feel like YoungBoy is underrated and misunderstood. And I feel like he's like one of these people that like if when he's not here anymore, people are going to look back and go, "Damn, that guy was actually like that guy was just incredible, like an artistic genius and like a just a man of such high emotional intelligence with his art that like no one can even appreciate the level that he's thinking on with his music." So he's number one for me, man. I've got to say like probably number two. This would have been my number one until I really got obsessed with YoungBoy. Would have been Lil Wayne. Obviously, Wayne's probably realistically probably the GOAT overall. Like YoungBoy is probably my number one in this generation, but Wayne is probably the GOAT overall. Like the Carter 3, I remember when that came out, that just had a huge impact on me. Like I feel like that's just a zero skips, just pure fire album. To me, Carter 3 is the best album ever made. And like Wayne is just one of the most creative people, especially the fact that it's like he don't write shit. He's freestyling, he's punching in some of the most legendary iconic songs and verses and bars of all time. And I feel like that's just you have to recognize that. So Wayne's number two. I would probably throw Drake at number three. I know that's a controversial one, but I think artist wise, beyond rap, like pop music, taking the rap genre and making songs for girls that resonate and actually go beyond the kind of beyond the hip hop genre, making songs for females, making rap songs that actually appeal to the entire world. I feel like no one can really touch Drake. And I know that the beef that's been going on recently has kind of like taken the shine off him, but I don't think you can take it away from him. His catalog is legendary and iconic, and I just don't think that there's any way to kind of get Drake out of the limelight. Like for everything that he's done, everyone that he's put on, the legendary albums he's made, the huge hits. Like the guy's got crazy. He's Michael Jackson in our generation, maybe in a few different ways, but like he is basically the Michael Jackson of this generation, and is like just setting records, making songs that are going to be listened to in 100 years time, bro. People are going to be flying in space cars listening to Drake, and that shit's crazy. Next up, I would probably say Future, because I feel like Future is just a legendary artist who really took that kind of like that auto-tune mumble rap sound to a whole new generation, to like that took the artistry to a new generation, the kind of like the toxic making songs like about for females, the guy that females hate. I just feel like Future's persona and his artistry is just incredible. I really admire him, the way that he's kind of built his career. And then obviously number five is King Von. You know what I'm saying? We got to have King Von on the list. I listen to King Von all the time. It's probably one of my favorite artists. Always put him in the top five. As far as drill, gangster rap in this generation, Von is the realest to ever do it, really, in that department. And there really ain't anyone that really brought that kind of energy into the music industry and actually made quality storytelling, well written, well delivered music that it was just really, really lived what he was talking about, for better or for worse. And I feel like he's just a legend for that. So he's on top five as well, man. That's the lineup: YoungBoy, Future, Lil Wayne, Drake, and King Von, man.
And
So, hey,
then your
Trapler
up
Ross,
five,
this is
your
Ebony. Speaking of King Von,
Yes.
what type of impact did he have on you for you to go get him tatted on your body?
Yeah, that's what I get that one a lot. Here's what it is, right? I just got to keep it real with you. The King Von video is the biggest moment of my career. I was a huge fan of Von. I was making videos on Von when he was alive. We might have had a little tension, but nothing we couldn't solve. When he passed away, I was very devastated. It was a very shocking moment for me. I remember, where I was and what I was doing when I got that news, and that was just kind of like, it was heavy. I was just such a fan of his music, the energy that it had. Like I always say to people, like I listen to Von when I'm in the gym, not when I'm spinning on the ops. And you throw on some Von, you throw on back again when you're doing a workout, you're going to be killing it. You're going to have the best workout of your life. So that energy that he brought to the table, like the aggression, it's aggressive drill music. The guy's talking about killing people, but you take that energy into the gym, you take that into hustle, and you take that when you're driving somewhere and you got a big meeting, big deal you need to close. That shit's going to give you energy. I don't think Von even knew what he was doing when he created some of these hits.
Trap.
But
Let me
yeah,
ask
yeah,
you a question though,
let's go.
because you've been talking about this drill music and all that.
Mm.
When y'all gonna take responsibility, because this shit started in the UK?
Hey, listen, I feel like the UK really wants to hear that. The UK want to take the responsibility, but you know what
Yo,
it is? You know what it
The
is?
sound of it. Come on, bro. Let's be real.
Hey, you know what it
Yo,
is? Yeah. Let me give everyone a little quick history lesson. Okay. Let me give everyone
okay,
a
that's my guy.
quick little
Listen.
history lesson, because what I find really interesting, yeah, is how every city has kind of borrowed source from each other. So I would say realistically, right, you want to go all the way back, you want to go all the way back, right, to the start of gangster rap. You're looking at a guy like Schoolie D coming out of Philly, one of the first people to actually talk about living a gang lifestyle and living in the streets and being part of a gang. PSK, the Parkside Killers, you know what I'm saying? Then that went to LA. We saw gangster rap, people like Ice-T, people like NWA, really talking about the streets and putting it on records. Obviously, that developed. You had banging on wax, Bloods and Crips making music, the Death Row era. But what's really crazy is how we went from this gangster rap era to a conscious rap era to like a kind of drug dealer rap era, right? And it all really went crazy in like, the early 2000s with Atlanta Trap. You got people like T.I., Gucci, Waka Flocka making this drug dealer music, this like trap. It's like street music, but it's not about gangbang. It's not about killing anybody, but it's gangster music about drug dealing that you could play in a strip club. And I feel like this is the most interesting part, right? Because like the Chicago rappers in the streets started making their own music on Atlanta trap beats. And it's like they started making murder music about what was going on in their city on like Atlanta trap beats that you might want to listen to in the strip club. And I feel like that's where drill was born. Then you had like, Chief Keef coming out with I Don't Like, people like Young Chop making these like booming beats that were like, it was like nothing you'd ever heard before. It's like it was music for the streets, music for the club, but then it's murder music and they're talking about real murders. It was crazy. But while that was going on in the UK, we had something called road rap, which was young gangster kind of guys in the UK rapping about their life and what was going on the roads. Like we call the streets the roads, and guys were kind of making music about the streets, but it never really took off. It never really became popular or mainstream like trap music and drill music kind of did. But what was super interesting is at some point, like some British producers kind of mixed together elements from dance music and garage music and house music that was popular in the UK. They started making drill beats that were a bit more up tempo. So like imagine, those Chicago drill, Atlanta kind of melodies, dark synth melodies, but then with a slightly faster beat with a higher tempo that you could more dance to. And that's kind of where the UK drill sound was born. And the crazy thing is, obviously, you started to have rappers in New York, people like 22Gs, Fabio Foreign, Pop Smoke, rest in peace, that kind of discovered these UK drill producers by accident. They didn't even know these were UK beats. They just thought it was hard and it's some shit you're going to hear in the club. And then you start getting hits like, Dior, where Pop Smoke's talking his shit on some gangster stuff, but there's a whole new dance coming out from it. So I feel like the UK really played their role when it comes to kind of pushing this drill thing and developing this new sound. But it's like you can't talk about it without talking about Chicago and Atlanta and like even talking about LA and kind of how this street stuff actually ended up getting on wax. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, so Trap, I want to ask you something, right? Because I know Vaughn personally, right?
Mm.
So when you started doing your homework,
Mm.
you know how much charities that Vaughn ever did?
No, I don't.
You know any good he ever did for people around him?
I think he did plenty of good for the people around him, for sure. He seems like somebody that was very loyal to his
I
friends,
think
very loyal to his
that's
family
the
and his
only
boys.
problem because some people might feel like he started glorifying like the work he put in the streets and people you might think that he killed and shit like that. But you're not making like a complete documentary of him. Basically that documentary was like a serial killer documentary, like
Facts.
certain shit. That's why I just asked you, like, you don't even know how much charities he ever did. So
How
you
much
just
charity you got to
basically,
give to make up for 7 bodies, though?
yeah, but then you were just keeping it on the bodies.
Because
You were
that's
just
what it was
keeping it on
about.
the
The
work that
charity,
he
the
put in.
charity weren't really a big part of his story,
So
respectfully. Like, I fuck with Von, but like, it wasn't a big thing for him to be given to charity. Like, that wasn't a big part of his story. The story was that he was claiming 7 bodies in his music, and allegedly they were true. No disrespect, but it's like, it wasn't a video about like, oh, I'm looking crazy out here talking about, oh, but Von was doing charity. Like, that doesn't make up for it. And
nah, I'm not
unfortunately,
saying
it
you're supposed
seemed
to
to
be.
me that he really did those murders. You know what I'm saying?
No,
That doesn't really
I'm not
alleviate
saying
the
that.
situation to me.
I'm not saying that. But if you watch a documentary about Malcolm X, they're
Mm.
gonna go from what school he went to the day he died. You watch Martin Luther King,
I
they're
did
gonna
that.
talk about everything in their life. I
I
feel
did
like
that.
that documentary was basically based on who he killed, who he might not kill, who he got problems with, and I don't feel like you kind of made it straight about King Von itself. You made it about King Von the rapper, but not the person that his family love and the people that really love him. That's the only problem I think people got a problem with it about. Because it's just like the Jeffrey Dahmer. He not no Jeffrey Dahmer. He's a regular nigga that adopted society. Whatever he had going on, he had to adopt to it.
I feel like there's just a kind of a very strange like defense of Von that comes around. Is like I'm a fan of Von, like I would never disrespect Von, but it's like people want to kind of whitewash his history. And bro, he was jumping on songs talking about he's got 7 bodies, he's smoking, you know what I mean, smoking KI, doing this, doing that, like talking about all these different people that have been killed that he allegedly had something to do with, and like bro, like it's a 3.5 hour documentary. I talk about his childhood, I talk about where he comes from, I talk about the history of his area, his father getting killed by a sniper, his family history, his best friends that got killed, everything that he went through to build a picture of like what he became, like why he was motivated to kill people, why he got so damn good at killing people. But like realistically, bro, I just don't feel like just throwing some charity work in there really is going to absolve him of any of the alleged murders that he did. And also to me, it just that was an important part of his story. This is
But,
ain't nobody really talking to me
Trap,
about Von doing
Trap,
charity work.
Trap. Let me ask you a question.
Mm.
So you think King Von was a bad guy for his murders? I think
Yeah, I
he's
do,
a
man.
product.
I
I
kind
think
of
he's a
do. I kind of
product of his
do.
environment, bro.
I kind
You
of
know.
do.
How
I
about
feel
the
like,
killer bee killed situations, Trap?
well, let me tell you why I think it's different. And this is a very important because I
Talk
totally
to me.
agree.
Talk to
I
me.
totally agree. And I always say a lot of people get put in kill or be killed situations. And I think Von was put in kill or be killed situations until until it gets to that late stage of his career. He doesn't need to be lining up murders anymore. Like I personally believe, this is just my opinion, don't sue me, but you know Von's not with us anymore, so I can't defame him, but I believe that Von lined up the murder of Duck. I believe that Von funded that. I personally believe that. I think that there's been, you know, talk about it. It was mentioned in court, an alleged $100,000 bounty. O blockchains were passed out. I think he was a millionaire and he didn't need to be lining up people to get killed anymore. And I felt like that was why I felt like it was bad what he was doing. He didn't need to be doing that anymore. But the unfortunate reality is he was a product of his environment. He wanted to keep having people killed. He wanted to keep raising hell, shooting at people, catching attempted murders with Dirk. And I'm not trying to deny he's a complicated man. I'm trying to make a very three-dimensional portrayal of this man as far as like actually explaining where he came from. But bro, as far as I'm concerned, unfortunately, the conclusion is that the guy was a killer, and he continued to try and wage war on the streets even after he became a millionaire and got out of the streets. And I think more from a moral point of view, I'm not from the streets, but I think that was wrong. And I
So
think
you
that
wait. So you think he was out of the streets because he was a millionaire? That make it you even. It's even more dangerous for you.
no, but I don't think he should have been funding the war, paying for people to have killed, be shooting at people, doing alleged armed robberies with Dirk. I think that was wrong, and I
But
would say
Trap,
to
watch
anybody,
this. So you get a phone call and
mm,
3 of your mans got hit. What you think he's supposed to do? He from the streets.
hey man, so if you get that phone call, what are you doing?
I'm 47 years old. I get a lot of those phone calls.
Hey, well, you're a successful entrepreneur now, Wack. So you shouldn't be answering those phone calls, right?
No, what I'm saying, no, you're right. But he, dude, definitely was not on my level,
No, that's
right?
facts. That's facts. I'll
He
give you
was
that.
a
I'll give you that.
youngster. He was a youngster coming up, right? So if you now watch this, if you are dependent on the streets to keep you safe, right? And
Mm.
those streets that you keep safe call you because something unsafe didn't happen and there's some unalive people on the block, right? Is he gonna tell those people, I can't do nothing for you, I'm a millionaire?
Hey, they called and said Duck is shopping peacefully outside Dolce and Gabbana. What we're gonna do? So I feel like it's slightly different, but I feel like what you're saying is right, and I think that is the
Yeah,
reason what
they were
happened happened.
all that was still tied in. It was like he got the money, but he didn't get the money um being a motherfucking square. He got the money based on
Evidence and from the details that I pulled up, that it looked pretty damning that Von did do those things. Like, do you feel like there's just this street code that guys just don't want to admit that anyone did anything ever? Because it's plainly obvious. Like, people are going to try and be like, Von never did anything. He was a good kid. If you told Von he was a good kid and he didn't have no bodies in person, he would have slapped you when he was alive.
well, of course they're gonna say that because you gotta remember Vaughn still has children and family and loved ones. So if you start putting bodies on him that people didn't know he did, although he's not around to become a body, then they'll start bodying the people that's closest to him. So yeah, they're not gonna come out in the open claiming that.
But that's facts, and I love this argument because people always bring this one to me, and they're like, "Yeah, but what about his kids? You're putting all this stuff out there, and his kids are gonna have to watch this." And it's like, bro, his kids are gonna listen to his songs where he's talking about got 7
No,
bodies.
no, no,
His
no,
kids
no.
gonna
We
see
ain't talking about
everything.
what it
I'm
watch.
just putting my thing together. You get me?
Trap. I don't care about the watch. I'm talking about, say for instance, all right, it comes out that Lil Double Up, Bond was responsible for that. It just comes out today,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Lil Double Up got some nieces and nephews and some brothers over there that's killers too.
mm,
Guess what? Now Lil Von baby mama, his kids, his
mm.
something, and now is now in jeopardy.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck 'cause that Bond is gone.
Mm.
They still want blood.
Facts, but that's the streets, right? I feel like people want to act like, well, that's my fault for making a documentary, but people act like the streets don't know who
Nah,
got
bro,
killed by
this is
Von.
out my mouth, bro. Listen, Trap. Here it go.
Mm,
And I'm telling you this.
mm,
Anything that is of your reach,
mm,
anything that you can research and you can find out. Trap,
mm,
being a square dude from the fucking UK, you got the right to talk about it, report on it,
mm.
debate it, dissect it any fucking way you want because it should have never been out there for you to know about it.
Facts. Hey,
Period.
I see someone in the comments saying they seen King Von on live counting bodies, and that's facts. That's what I'm saying. Is like people want to act like I aired all this shit out, but King Von is on live talking about how many bodies you think I got. It's more than 5. I merch it on. Oh, it's more than 5. Like that was out there. You know what I'm saying? He was moving crazy with the self snitching, and it's just it is what it is.
I think
Yo,
they just mad because you getting
but
paid
trap
out
is
this,
still
bro.
Hey, it's,
is
If you
low
wasn't
key.
getting paid, I don't think they even care.
Hey, I'm not denying it, but
Wait, say
not.
again,
It
Snitching?
still sound like
I
the
think
shit
they be
that
mad
Wack
because he
just
getting
asked you,
paid.
right? Wack just asked you some real questions, and it still sound like you kind of confused or you don't really understand
I feel like
how
I
the
answered
street
everything
shit kind
directly.
of go, right? But let me give you like a little example.
Yeah.
Like my brother took 18 years, right,
Mm,
for some niggas,
mm,
and I'll be watching niggas post them saying free the demon,
mm,
free the shooter.
mm.
Yo, we got a hot mic. Where he goes? Who is that,
I
Spliffy?
got it. Wack.
Well, I
He was
think
about to
that's
cook
my
me with
shit.
that
My
question,
bad.
man.
Yeah, where's Spliffy go? There you go, Spliffy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll be watching niggas saying free the demon, free the ghost,
Mm,
free all the shit. But when my mother cried, she cried for my brother real name
mm,
and as a son.
mm,
When I shed a tear for my brother, it's for my brother, my family member, you feel me?
mm,
But people out on the street will say free the demon,
mm,
free the ghost, and all that other shit. But that's not who my brother is. I feel I shed a tear for my brother for my relationship that I got with my brother. My mother shed a tear for my brother
yeah.
for the relationship that she got with her son. You feel me?
Mm,
So now when other people glorify him as this person that be out in the streets doing all that other shit, his family members got a different kind of feeling towards him. You feel me?
yeah.
So now if the people that don't know the kid's father,
Mm,
when they see them and they be like, "Oh, I know your father," it ain't really for nothing good. Cause being a serial killer, that shit ain't really doing nothing for a kid
mm,
that's trying to follow the right steps and go to college and
mm,
be somebody. You feel what I'm
mm.
saying, bro?
No, I
So
feel that.
as it pops, so some I just feel like you kind of gotta tap in and understand how the streets go and why people do what they do. Cause you can't sit there and just be like, oh, okay, he counted about body, so why should I care about certain shit? You feel what I'm saying, bro? It ain't really that type of party when it comes to shit like that. I just feel like you gotta understand why people do what they do,
Mm,
because they got people that put on uniforms and go to Iraq and they
mm,
fight and they don't even know the reason why they fighting,
mm.
and that they ain't no better than us in the streets. We got a good reasons
Spliff,
why we do what we do.
did your brother choose to be in the streets?
Yeah, of course he chose to be in the streets.
Okay, so then did your brother go into the streets not thinking that he was gonna be a demon or he wasn't gonna be the ghost?
Nah, I'm
Ain't
not
that the
saying.
ain't that the reputation that he wanted?
No, I'm not. Sometimes people don't even be wanting the reputation.
No, no, no. When you enter the competition of the streets, that's what comes with it. Getting your name.
Nah,
If you
it's
are
not
known
even
as the,
that. Look,
go ahead.
if I'm with you for years, right, from elementary school, and you my dog, that means what I want. Like, if me and you got beef with somebody, that means I'm helping you survive. It's not me just want to join it for the internet. You want to make a home to your family. I want to make a home to my family. So when me and you touch the road, we gonna do whatever we gotta do to make it back home. Some people just defend themselves and go about it. Now you can't tell certain
Bro, see,
people how to do in channels.
you're talking defense, bro. What about the people who are playing offense, bro? What about the people who
No,
just
no,
get
no,
up and go
no, no,
do it?
no, no, bum. You got to stop doing that. You's a gang member, right? Listen, check this out. I went through every level of that shit, right? I bring my brother on here and he'll tell you. I told that nigga, God put me on earth to kill Crips and the devil was from Paul. That was my mentality as a kid. Ain't no offense, defense. Once you banging and you done laid it down, it's straight killing. That's what fuck. This ain't no offense, defense.
But
This is it's killing, bro. It's killing.
I'm with you on that. But I'm saying
I don't give a
that's
fuck
what
if they
his
coming
brother
down
chose
because
to
guess
be
what?
though.
If they throwing some shots at you, it's behind some shots we already threw with them. Ain't no justification on either side. It's just killing. And it's not right. This is why I tell niggas I'm not a gang banger. I don't entertain the thought of just killing. Will I murder at a drop of a hat? No problem. I will set your thoughts on your dashboard. If you at any point in time come off a threat to me and mine, you even make me think it because I come from the life of a killer. So I don't have a problem murdering, right? I will take your life if I feel threatened. But bro, ain't no offense, defense, bro, because if it's coming at you, it's because what you already sent it them. The only thing a motherfucker could do is say, yo, you lost 50, we lost 60, we stopping the day. So I ain't the next one, you ain't the next one. We gonna reset. Y'all do what y'all do, we do what we do, and we ain't doing this shit in the name of that. If that don't happen, if niggas ain't got the mindset to make that happen, then niggas just gonna keep killing. Nope,
That's all.
it's not
That's
justified
all
on
I'm
our side.
saying. That's all I'm saying. You feel me? If niggas is choosing that lifestyle, that's what they gonna get to.
That's
Niggas
what
want
come
them.
with it.
Niggas want them names. Niggas want to be the shooter. Niggas want to be the ghost. That's just what it is.
Nah, but
Until,
if
but
your
they don't want to take the 50, so they telling these days.
and if your
Facts.
best friend get killed, and after your best friend get killed, people is laughing about it. Who's us to tell them how they gonna deal with getting their revenge? Some people might be like, yo, you know what? Leave them to God. Some other people might feel like, oh, I'm gonna send you to meet God. It's a
Hey,
difference.
bro, the bottom line, Flippy, is both sides is gonna have to accept the losses and hit reset if they give a fuck about the ones that's coming behind them.
Nah, that's a fact.
I agree. For sure. For sure.
That's the only thing that makes it worth it. Nigga, well, how whoop the whoop gonna feel? We doing this for our nigga little son, his little son 9 right now. We doing this for those that come behind us. Both sides gonna have to accept the losses, bro, and hit reset. A lot of this shit, it happened, but if you go to the root of why it happened, it be behind some bullshit.
Now, OG, when did you come up with that solution? That's the when both sides just gotta accept the L. When did you really realize that?
The homie Wacko for West Side Power Rule put it on the table in front of me. He called me one day, he said, Wack, both sides is gonna have to accept the losses for a nigga to be able to reset. And we gotta keep doing what we doing, with how we doing it, showing the little homies that we ain't tripping the gangbang shit. So niggas been planting the seeds for years, bro. Me signing Blueface, me openly dealing with cats like Loose Cannon and 600 and supporting this and this is me planting seeds, bro. Because my little homies with me come around, you didn't seen it before, Puppy. They come around loose shore with 50 niggas. I got 50 niggas. Them get crippin', we blood and power ruin. They seeing me in loose politicking. Now they rolling blunts with each other and they merging. They know we moving as one. So now 2 weeks later, they at a gas station, nigga pulling there with his baby mama by itself. It's 5 car look. Oh, nah, hold on. We was just with him and Loose. That's Loose, homie from 6-0. What's up, my nigga? What's happening? Nah, they ain't tripping. I already told them I know you. Man, good looking out. I just saved a life.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? This how it works. So all these niggas talking about they gangster, I question a lot of they gangster because if you doing some dumbass shit that we did when we thought we was gangsters, then you part of the problem. Gangster is trying to help solve the problem.
And me, my nigga, when the homies that passed and shit, when I be telling the other homies, make sure y'all make that nigga proud. I don't be meaning going and slide. If they got kids, I'm gonna pull up to the kids' graduation, the kids' birthdays, and try to be there to make them feel like whoever's my homie that passed, they still got somebody from that cloth right there that's gonna be there. I can't be a father figure, but the most I'm gonna do is hold my homie down when it comes to his kids, birthdays, graduations, make sure his kids in the right path
But
to be the
Spliff,
same.
you gotta tell them that, cause in the heat of the moment, when you tell them, make sure you make him proud, they might be thinking about you telling them to go slide. So you gotta tell them this.
Exactly. That's why I explain that to them. You feel me? Because I feel like I'm. Nobody know what it feel like when you die, but I just feel like I would be more proud if a nigga go check on my daughter mental health, check on my daughter birthdays, and like certain shit that mean a lot to me. Cause all that sliding shit, we could kill 1 million people after one person
It ain't
dies.
gonna bring him back.
That shit ain't gonna bring them back,
It
bro.
might fuck around and jeopardize his kid's life.
Yeah. And his kids might feel like they want some get back, or they might grow into the same. That's how it be. It be that generation shit. You go from the kids, then the kids turn adults, and then the kids behind them do the same shit, and then it just be a
Uptown,
30,
change
40
your
year war.
PTR. Yo, um, Ghost. I ain't never heard Ghost and Big Chuck just come
What
off
up,
the
bro?
bottom and say, we got our guy up in here, man. He been under attack. Old Trap Lil Ross, but he built for this shit. He built for this shit. They don't fuck with the AKs, but they got the zombie knives. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
come on.
He built for this shit. You got some questions?
yeah,
You and Chuck got some questions for him?
yeah, I do got a question for him. I want to ask you this, Trap. You do a lot of in-depth like content or whatever, right? Have law enforcement ever reached out to you? And if they haven't reached out to you for any of your content, if law enforcement did reach out to you to use some of your content or review some of your content, would you allow that?
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you, man. That's never actually happened to me. I feel like I would be surprised if law enforcement actually tried to like approach me about my stuff. Because look, here's the difference between me and a lot of other YouTubers that cover this kind of stuff. Generally, I don't be going places and interviewing people and trying to get backdoor information type shit. Like I've done a couple hood vlogs out here in LA, but that's more like trying to showcase what people got going on, promote their music, show where they're coming from. It's not really like a investigation into their area. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, it's like I only work with public sources, bro. When people DM me talking about I got inside info about this person, this rapper, that gang, I actually don't want to hear it, bro. Because if it's not on Google, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to put it out there. I'm only like remixing and piecing together stuff that's publicly available. So I only work with publicly available sources. I ain't never been approached by law enforcement. If I was, I probably wouldn't cooperate, not even because on some shit that I think I'm a gangster, but it's more just a case of like, bro, I would just say like everything I've got is online. I ain't got any information that's not online. I ain't got nothing to say, and I really don't want any problems with anyone, whether it's the cops or the gangsters. So it's never happened to me, man. I know that Vlad be getting pressed by the cops as far as like they wanted some interview or something to do with the Keefe D thing, and he said he stayed solid. So you know what I'm saying? I would like to think I'd do the same thing, but real talk, man, I'm scared of the police.
Yeah, that's why I asked you that question, because Vlad said he turned him down every time.
Nah,
Yeah.
he definitely does that.
But I feel like
He
Vlad's different because he actually be getting like first hand information, doing interviews. Like if someone says something crazy in an interview with him, he might have accidentally recorded them confessing to a crime, right? Whereas that would never
yeah,
actually
no,
happen
that
with me.
definitely he was fucking he stepped outside and talked to somebody and his the microphone was still on. So it was coming back.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That you were wearing a wire on yourself, bro. But how can you blame Vlad?
Yeah, but he deleted the shit. He didn't do nothing with it. He definitely could have did something with that. You right.
Hey,
You right.
I feel like Vlad's a gangster too, man. I wouldn't want to mess with Vlad either.
Nah, Black ain't no gangster. Black gonna tell you I'm not none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Black gonna tell you I'm calling the cops. You come fucking with me. My security can't deal with you. I'm calling the motherfucking cops.
Hey, Vlad be rolling with the cops, man. I wouldn't want any smoke with him.
And sometimes the internet give you whatever they give you, man. Sometimes it ain't that don't really be what it is. Cause I ain't gonna front. At first, I was kind of disagreeing with Wack with certain shit Wack used to do, right? But then one day I looked at TikTok and I saw a nigga said that Wack helped him make. I don't know if I'm wrong, Wack, but you put a deal together for like 300 million or some shit like that. And me looking at Wack trolling and shit, I would feel like Wack don't waste his time doing some serious shit and helping people to make some serious
Well,
money. You
Spliff,
feel
let
me?
me ask you, Spliff, what did you disagree with that I do?
Well,
I love these
at
conversations because
first,
I be
at
trying to
first, it seemed like you troll because when I first came on here, it was because of my son Bobby. You had your own opinion with
what
Bobby.
Bobby what Smurder?
Yeah,
Okay, so let me ask you something. You a real nigga, right?
of course.
Now listen, I done been in some situations, homie, with my homeboys. I just had to do a thing on him. One of my little homies on No Jumper. It is what it is, right? So you got the paperwork, right?
I think I know what you're talking about.
You got the DOJ paperwork, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, where I come from, I don't tell people to stop being friends with a motherfucker because they friends too. See, I've learned that when I hear somebody say, nah, that's this, that's that, even though it's right in front of them. But if I took that name out and put a name they didn't know and asked them the same question, then they would say, yo, he's guilty of that, right? That means you're this individual's friend, right? But we got to keep it real when we talking about streets. Now, I'm gonna break this down. We got a few people. 16 shot him, Ghost, Chuck. We gonna eliminate my team, but these is cats that don't give a fuck what Wack talking about. They gonna call Wack right or wrong. When you when you cop out on your shit and you give a statement on anybody other than yourself involving a commission of a crime that can get them charged with a crime, is that not considered telling where we come from in the streets?
Yeah, when
Hell
you
yeah,
cop
that
out,
shit selling.
when you cop out, you only copping out to the role that they charge you with, for whatever
Okay,
crime that
okay.
they charge you
So
with.
if the DOJ paperwork reads, right, that that other dude, and I'm talking about the Cooter dude, right? I ain't gonna get to Bobby because Bobby didn't do no telling. If the DOJ paperwork reads, because y'all attack me on this shit, that this man said this man paid me to go commit these acts against this man, can we call that dude a rat?
Is that telling though? If that man said that shit first,
I Whack. I'm gonna keep it real with you,
You're
right?
not supposed to 16.
Not,
You
not,
ain't supposed to collaborate either.
I'm
Look,
saying though,
Whack.
like if that's copping out at that point. If you said that you paid me to shoot somebody, and then I say yeah, he did it, we both copped out.
No, but that nigga
Yeah.
never said it. He never said it. This was a see. I try to get everybody to understand this. What I respect about 6ix9ine is he tell you I'm a rat. I told. But what I don't respect about those streets is 16, you got a brain. It's a reason 6ix9ine was categorized as the kingpin with 47 years. Right? You know why? Because the street niggas said he gave us the money for the guns. He gave us the money for the heroin. He paid us to go shoot this nigga. He paid us to go shoot that nigga. And everybody sweeping that shit under the rug. Right? 6ix9ine ain't the only one did some telling. Spliffy, can we agree?
But Wack, did
Yeah.
6ix9ine cop
But
out
look though,
before
Whack.
before Cuda?
Hell no.
But Whack. You and I know when it comes to money and certain
Here
shit
we go. Here we
that look
go.
crazy. Nah. I ain't talking about the snitching part. I'm just saying when it comes to money and certain shit that look like 200,000 in front of a nigga that never robbed somebody before, that nigga might rob that person. 6ix9ine was doing a lot of some niggas that never did
That
that shit.
don't mean you supposed to tell
Nah,
when you get under the light.
I ain't giving no excuse on the telling. Whack, you right. Whack, it's
Okay,
times
we're
you
gonna
say
move
real shit.
past that because I
Not
don't want
look
people
right,
to
Whack.
think I'm crucifying you about
It's
that.
times you say real shit, Whack, and it's times
Now,
you
Bobby
be saying
Smurder.
some
Now,
bullshit
now,
that
Spliffy.
make
I
niggas
did a
want to
lot
feel
of
like,
penitentiary time. I'm gonna tell you what fucked me up about what he said. The nigga said, I learned these moves in prison. I'm an ex-convict, nigga, Spliffy. I've been doing time. I can put photos up from 12 years on up. Been doing time a long time. Now I understand their culture, right? I get it. But when you say I practice and learn these moves when I'm in prison and you gyrating your hips and dancing in the sensual, sexual way, minus women being around you, my nigga, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. If I was doing it, they'd have called it on me.
Whack, when you go to a
Yeah, I don't get
carnival,
that shit with Bobby, man. I hate to see that shit
everybody's
because I
dancing
fuck
like
with Bobby.
Bobby, right? If you go to
Spliff,
Miami Carnival right now,
spliff,
all the
spliff.
niggas
I'm not
is
tripping my niggas with a bunch of bitches around me. I'm tripping, he said. I learned these moves and practiced this shit when I was in prison. He was in a men's facility, correct?
yeah, but Fat
It,
Cat
I'm,
wasn't
I don't give a
sponsored,
fuck
man.
what it was, Spliff. Are you supposed to be demonstrating that type of shit around just an male situation?
Whack, you think niggas was giving him lessons, Whack, of how to dance? Come
I
on,
think
Whack.
if he
Come
was
on.
doing that in a corner on the yard, niggas, I done been on the yard. Niggas is looking at this nigga like he's fruity, is what the fuck I think, bro. Respectfully.
You see how you say what you think? That's an opinion, Whack. You
No,
can't
that's
say a
what,
nigga.
bro. Anybody in
You
there
see
been
a
been
nigga
to
straight
jail?
because of
Nah,
that.
that's
If
what it
that
is.
nigga was in my cell, I'm taking off on him.
For sure. For sure, for sure.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If he's doing them dances in jail, motherfucker
Yo,
had to move him around.
Young Thug wore a skirt and everybody thought he was gay,
Not
bro.
in
What that got to
jail.
do with anything?
Yo, but
Not in
still,
jail. We're talking about, listen, Flip. Flip, maybe he was high. Maybe he didn't realize what he was saying. The man said, I learned these moves and practiced these moves when I was just in prison.
I ain't
So
heard
What a
when
that.
I'm
P?
like,
What a PC?
bro, if bro, that nigga down there in the grill or Matico Bay, a motherfucking Miami nigga in the middle or in the festival parade, bunch of bras around him doing this shit, you have nothing out of me, bro. But when you say that and you're doing that and like, yeah, I learned how to do practice when I was just in jail. Nigga,
Yo,
what the fuck is you
Who
now you
taught you
gotta
that?
remember, Spliffy, I've seen what people do in jail.
yo, son, you crazy, son.
I'm being real, bro. I'm not trolling. I swear to God. Anybody, bro, come on. I know some of
Yo,
you niggas
that's
don't.
my
Like, who
dog,
had
bro.
you
My
doing that
son,
if you learned that
my
in jail?
son don't like
He ain't
men, bro.
trolling.
I know he not trolling, but Wack is some crazy ass
No,
nigga.
bro, I'm being split.
Wack.
He
Okay.
not.
Okay. Do you wish he wouldn't have said that to the public, bro?
If he said that, I wish he would have never said that. You're right.
That's all
Yeah,
I responded to.
I'm
I'm
with
like,
you on
bro,
that one. If he said that, I wish he would have never said that.
that's
I ain't
all
gonna
I'm
be
saying,
biased.
nigga. I've been to jail, county jail, juvenile hall, camp, youth authority, penitentiary, ad said, nigga, level 3, 2, you name it. I've been there. And if a nigga's on the yard doing that, he's gonna attract who we call the booty bandits. That's who he's gonna attract.
Yo, yo,
I
Wack.
swear to
Yo, Wack.
God.
But it's times you do some bullshit that make people feel like some shit
Well, when
so
he said he was
real.
gonna boom me, he said he was gonna boom me.
Cause
I
you
simply
trolling the
went
man, bro.
I simply went and, I found the individual he had been dealing with, bro.
Nah, Wack, that shit cat. That part right there, I
What?
don't know if that's what you talking about,
You
right? You
seen the
talking about
picture, right?
no, you talking about the shit where he was laying in the bed and then they looked at somebody's head and said it was a mook nigga. Well,
Well, that
I
definitely
don't want to
was
say the
one of
wrong
those
thing.
dudes. He came out, right? Am I right, nigga?
Whack. I was in the crib that
Watch what
day.
you
That
say,
night.
Spliffy.
Yeah, he better
Yo,
set
Watch
nah,
what
himself
you
up.
say, Spliffy.
nah. Look, Whack. Nah, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Whack. That day when the internet was trying to say he laid up with some Spanish, I don't want to say the wrong word on here because you feel me. Y'all should be going
Yeah.
YouTube. But whoever the fuck they said that wasn't it, bro. I saw it with my own eyes. That wasn't no nigga in no fucking bed with like my son don't move like that. And when that shit happened, and I know that I was in the crib with the dog, and the dog really had two females in the crib, and they make it seem like I was like, all right, the internet really is some bullshit because I saw it firsthand. Like, let's say if you in the crib with Game, and then Game got two Spanish Johns in his crib, you over there, Whack, like you know
Okay.
for a
Now
fact.
could I
And
cop to
then
something with you, Spliffy? 1152 Randall, Players Club. I was there with DJ K Slay, may he rest his soul. In this club, there was a particular individual. They was throwing 5, 10,000 trying to get this individual to their VIP. It was a bidding war. I'm there. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Individuals asshole naked like everybody else. Comes over there to the section, asshole naked in front of me. Spread the legs 50 different times, drop it like it's hot, pole, titties out, all this shit, right? Boom. I tell Slay, yo, Slay, this motherfucker right here, you need to put on the cover, Straight Stunning Magazine. He said, you right, son. I'm going to have my girl up in here, get the individual number, and then we're going to do it like that. 4, 5 days later, the individual tells Slay got to find a babysit for the child. No problem. Slay does a full body camera, video, photo shoot, all that. We send the motherfucker photos out to get proofed, right? Individual that proofed it said you can't use this person on the cover of Straight Study. Why? Because this is a transgender. So just because you was in, I'm telling you, nigga, I seen what I seen with my eyes. I don't drink, smoke nothing, nigga. I
yo,
couldn't tell nothing, nigga. This is a fact. I'm keeping it gangster with you, right? So just because you was in the motherfucking same hotel with them, don't mean that that person that came out is not what they say they are, bro. Just because what you saw, you believed it to be something else. Right
yo,
now,
Wack.
at the end of the day, wait, when it came out, Naughty, right here on the floor. Naughty,
Yes, I'm
what
here.
famous rapper was you in the studio with at one time?
Bobby's murder.
Oh, I'm out of here, Wack.
Naughty's a transgender.
yo, Wack.
Yes,
Bro,
I
My
I'm
was in.
just
son.
being
I
real
was in
with
the
you.
studio with Bobby's murder.
Yo,
Bro,
and
Naughty put the pictures up. Look, Spliff, look, man. End of the
Yo,
day,
Wack,
I'm look.
you
We're gonna
are
leave it
so
right there because I
fucking.
don't want to make it seem like that. I'm just saying it's some things in your life, some things in your brother' life, some things in your homeboy's life that they may have done that they don't want you to know, vice versa. I'm gonna
Nah,
leave
Wack,
it right
I
there because
don't
this ain't
think
no
that's
Bash
my
Bobby
man. Cause my
segment.
son don't
I'm
move
just
like
keep.
that. My
I'm
son
just
don't
keeping
move
it.
like that. If whoever was
You
that,
don't know, yo, Split. Do you think you know everything your homies do?
I will hope I do. Like,
I found out the
I
hard
would-
way about a few of my homies from they, you know. I'm like, what? What? Yeah. I had one time his girl call on the three-way. She said, don't say nothing. Watch this. And if I wouldn't have heard what I heard, and she would have just told me and I'd have asked him, I would have believed him. But I heard what I heard without him knowing I was on the jack.
Wack.
I'm just being real. I ain't listen. We gonna get away from it because we got
Yeah,
Trap
yeah.
Lord here. But I'm just
I ain't
telling
gonna.
you, bro, kind of prepare your mind because sometimes you'll be confronted with some shit, bro. That you know
Yeah,
it
but
is what it is.
the internet make anybody look some type of way. Whack, they make you look some type of way. And
No,
then I heard you say, like, I hear you be saying some real shit. This is why I wouldn't come on here and act biased and be like, damn, I just heard this nigga talking some
no, but
real
I'm
shit. I
telling
come
you,
on
the
and
only
troll.
reason why I said that
But
about Bobby is because I heard him say what he said about
yeah,
Prissy.
you shouldn't. I wish you would have never said that. I'm with you
Other
on
than
that,
that, bro,
but
I
my son don't
understand
move
how
like
the
that, man.
Jamaicans and
My
the
son is a
cats
pussy,
from the
bro.
islands and shit and Barbados and shit, they culture. I get it, right? I get it, my nigga. I ain't lie. I done been down there on the islands and seen these niggas with these bras. I'm like, God damn, this nigga got these bad bitches around. This nigga, he bumping and grinding with these bitches. I don't know how to dance like that, right? I didn't look at it no kind of way. But when you say some shit like that and you just getting out and all this other shit going on to make niggas say, as the New Yorkers say, that's all I'm saying.
Yo, if he
Trap
said that,
Lord.
I'm with you on that.
Hmm.
He shouldn't have said that.
That's all I'm saying. That's
But
I didn't just
Wack,
come
if
out
it's certain shit,
Spliffy and just say it.
if it's
I
certain shit you
responded
be
to that
saying
shit.
and you be doing that will make niggas sometime like try to like be in denial about some truth you might be saying. Like it was a time. Remember I was telling you the other day. I'm like, damn, when you did the Jim Jones shit, and the nigga call your phone was like, yo, this Jim, and you was like, nah, I was trolling. I bet you at, and I respect you for that too, cause you ain't believe your own lie. You know that was a lie, and you
What?
came out
What was
straight
a
up and
lie?
said it.
Hold on. What was a lie?
The Jim Jones shit when you was on Adam and the nigga called you like, yo, Wack, I got the bricks outside. Come outside. This is Jim Jones. And you was like, nah, I was just trolling. You told me that out your mouth, remember?
Oh yeah, I was fucking with him. You know, when I'm fucking with you,
This
I'm
what I'm
fucking with you.
saying. So now when other people,
You don't believe Jim Jones was a cooperator?
nah, I ain't gonna tap into none of that shit, Wack.
Oh, okay.
Don't put me
Cause
on
you know I
game
can
with
bring
that shit,
6ix9ine.
man.
He said he was his number two behind him.
Yeah, but 6ix9ine was doing he was making niggas
Six
that
nine
don't do
said
shit
Wack.
before.
I was the number one. Jim was the number two, and he said that bitch ass nigga you getting into it with J.Prince Jr. That nigga got the same handler I got. He got a seal file right now. Go look it up. And when I went and looked it up, boom, there it go. One thing we do know: one cooperant will know another. That's a fact.
Yeah,
Now,
true.
trap. I got a project coming up, right? I want to know what you think about this.
Okay, okay, let's go.
It's called the Book of Timothy.
Okay.
It's Lil Tim.
Ooh, yeah.
And he's breaking down everything as it happened, what he went through, even when
Mm,
they tried to ride down on him down there in Savannah.
okay.
You know, say cheese, he's narrating it.
Hard.
Everybody's in it. What's
It's
the
lit.
little Quando Rondo's in it?
Right.
They doing it down there, and he break down everything that happened, how it happened, what it led to, what he went through fighting the case, how he
Mm.
ended up beating the case, and the things that went on down there on his block as people were trying to get back.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's gonna be a movie.
We doing that on Dash Unlock.
Mm.
I'm gonna be releasing that on Dash Unlock. I'm not gonna lie, I was finna do some crazy shit.
Mm.
I was going to announce it on Halloween and
Yeah.
release it November 7th or 6th,
Okay.
which was one of the death date, I believe, of King Bond, right?
November 6th, yeah.
Yeah, right. So that's definitely coming. It's called the Book of Timothy.
So that's the announcement, right? This is the first people hearing?
First people hearing is gonna be on Dash Network, Dash Unlocked.
Hey, that's
Any
gonna be
loose
crazy,
cannon.
man.
We just partnered up with those guys, so we own a percentage of the situation. But
That's dope.
that's what's coming. So, do you think that he has a right to tell his story now that he's been, cleared of all charges?
Absolutely. And I think that what you got there is one of the most, no pun intended, right? But it's one of the craziest stories in hip hop history. You know, what went down with Von, how it unfolded. You know, nobody had ever heard of Lil Tim before. Not to disrespect him. From what I understand from my research, he was very well known in Savannah. He was a very respected, serious guy in the streets of Savannah, but the whole world didn't know about Lil Tim until that fateful night when he pulled the trigger. I think this is one of the most important monumental stories in hip hop history as far as drill music, and I think this is going to be monumental, man. I'm excited to hear about it. I can't wait to see it, and I think that it is right that Lil Tim should tell his story, because to be fair, bro, I don't think Lil Tim did anything wrong. I was a huge Von fan, but Von was attacking a guy who
I
was
was gonna
who was in the
ask you
streets too.
that.
I don't
Do
think he
you
did
think
anything
he was
wrong.
wrong,
None, and
Buffy?
realistically, Von was wrong, man. He shouldn't have just run up and swung on Quando. That was a rap beef. It wasn't serious like that. And Von, really, no disrespect, but he should have known better.
Now, I want y'all to correct me.
Mm.
The beef was between Quando and Quando and Dirk, or Quando and Von.
It was
So the
Von
beef
and
was
Youngboy at first.
It was Von and Youngboy, and then essentially like Quando is signed to Youngboy, so
Gotcha.
that kind of went back on Quando, and then Quando and Von and Lil Reese and them all had a little beef on Twitter like 2 months before this shit went down, which I was one of the only people really pushing the narrative that like Von and Reese and Quando and Youngboy had all been going back and forth on Twitter for months before this popped off. Like there's a famous tweet from Lil Tim.
Somebody mute him.
You might have
Really
got a
pick
phone
up on
call.
it, you know.
Go ahead. No, you had one out. It was a famous beef. What
You know, can you hear me now?
are you now? What were you saying?
Yes, I was just saying, like there was a bunch of tweets and stuff going around that basically, like, you know, Quando and Lil Reese and King Von and Youngboy had all been beefing on Twitter in the lead up to the incident that went down, and there was a famous tweet that Lil Tim made where he said, "Yo, these Chicago rappers need to chill out on Quando," with a bullet hole emoji. And so, you know, 2 months before that situation went down, Lil Tim was essentially saying, "Look, I'm ready to stand on this. Like, nobody's going to be disrespecting Quando like this." And you know, like I said on DJ Vlad, man, I feel like Von underestimated those guys that day. He underestimated Quando. He underestimated Tim. And there's a famous Quando lyric where he says, you know, these guys from Chicago, they think they're the only killers in America. But as you see from the documentary I did on Quando and them, like Savannah, Georgia is very, very dangerous. It's very serious. And the Rolling 60s, you know, obviously they got them out there and that's what they claim there, and they're very serious, you know. So Von did underestimate that situation that night, and it was very unfortunate. But Lil Tim was like the King Von of Savannah, some people say.
Well, I tell you this. Neither one of them from Atlanta, right?
Mm.
And so when you get on neutral ground like that, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. The best team gonna win.
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, you know, Quando's from Savannah, Georgia. Yeah, it's not Atlanta,
Yeah,
but
that ain't
that was a
Atlanta.
bit that's a bit more close to his home turf. You know, Von was
It,
super far from home.
it don't matter. His projects ain't round the corner.
No, I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, you got a motherfucker uh from Long Island, and then you got another motherfucker from Queens, and they on 42nd. They on 42nd Street in Manhattan. Hey, it's
Mm,
gonna be the best team gonna win.
mm,
You know what I'm
nah.
saying? So, I just think listening to Quando, he wasn't looking for the bullshit that night. I
Mm.
just think Lil Tim wasn't going for it.
Yeah, totally agree, man. And I think you know, there's rumors that Von was on Molly. He was on some drugs that night. Maybe he wasn't in the right state of mind, man. It's very unfortunate, but it
Usually
just goes to
on
show you,
stuff
man.
when they doing what they do, right?
Unfortunately, that's the way nowadays. They're sniffing Percocets. You know, that's the popping thing to do now. Is sniff perks and go and kill somebody.
Who
And
told you that, Trap?
I seen it. I seen him sniffing the perks, man. Go and see DJ U's channel. I
Yeah,
seen him sniffing the perks.
Bloodhound Lil Jeff did it live
Hey, Wack, what do you think of that, man? You got demons out
on
here
the
sniffing
interview.
perks and doing drills on camera.
Nah, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't get mad at people for talking about it. You can't. I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
why they
the thing.
do that. They did it to Act. They do it to you. I be like, yo, bro, y'all put it out there. Y'all publicize it for it to be talked about.
Right? That's how I feel, man. But you know what, man? I feel like the Lil Tim documentary is going to be monumental. I'm really excited for that, man. I feel like that's going to be major, and I think you being involved in it is going to make it even better. It's going to make it even more real. I think you're going to be able to bring like a level-headed perspective to the project, man. So I'm hyped for that, man. I'm excited for you, man. I feel like it's going to be an epic project. So saying keep me posted on when that's going to drop. I can't wait to see it and promote it.
I,
All day long. Appreciate you. Gonna need your support. Anybody got any more questions for
I,
bro before we get up out of here?
I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna head to the studio in a second. Let me take one more question.
I do.
When you
Go ahead.
gonna do one of them videos on one of them UK dudes over there stabbing people with swords and shit?
Hey, look up my video on the rapper Suspect. I did that shit four or
Zombie
5 months ago.
knife.
You missed it. You missed it, man. I did it.
Missed
I
it.
did that.
Who asked that question? God damn it.
That was me, Wack
Hey,
Rich.
I'll
Rich.
tell you. I'll
He,
tell you what, man. I've got some other ideas for UK stories coming, man. But if you want to know about how they get busy with the knives in the UK, man, go and watch the video on
I'm telling
Suspect.
you this though, Trap. Hey, listen, don't bro. They're very interested in it. You seen as soon as I saw you, I started talking about the zombie knife. Right?
Hey, the zombie knives aren't to be played with, man. I might need to get myself one of those out here if people keep pressing me.
Who was that individual before Rich said they had a question?
That was me, Mr. Wack.
Go ahead, get your last question so he can roll.
Period. Thank you. So, Mr. Lore, excuse me. I have one more question for you. Yes. So, given the rise of digital content creation and the ability to research from anywhere, how do you
Mm.
think technology has changed the way we explore and understand the histories of subcultures like hip hop? Do you think accessibility of information makes the stories more accurate, or does it risk oversimplifying complex issues like y'all just discussed on the stage?
Hey, I feel like that might be the best question. You got that? I feel like it might be the best question anyone's ever asked me. That's an amazing question. And what I would say is that I personally believe that a lot of people come at the content creators, they come at the musicians, but like nobody ever wants to talk about the social media companies. The platforms, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Reddits that host a lot of this content that create a platform where gangsters can essentially go to war with each other online. And I'm not saying they should shut down those platforms, but what I am saying is that like realistically people want to talk about me or academics or different people being responsible for the violence, and really the social media companies are providing the biggest platform and the technology. You can shoot somebody and tweet about it and have the whole city know about it within 30 minutes, and then the whole city's onto you. The King Von situation, that was straight up on camera. The next day everyone knew what was going on, and it was already they worked out who Lil Tim was within a day. And that's technology. That was Reddit. It took me a couple of years before I made a video about the situation, but on Reddit, they work that stuff out within literally a day. So to me, that's a really good question. I think that the one thing that a lot of people don't put shine a light on with this stuff is the degree to which the social media companies like really create a marketplace and create a place for this stuff to be talked about. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because it's just what's going on. But I would say like I don't know, if there was a way that maybe like gang content was delayed or something, like if you were going to ask me how I could actually fix that problem, like maybe you shouldn't be allowed to post about the person who died yesterday on Reddit. Like maybe you got to wait a week, maybe you got to wait for things to calm down before you talk about these things. I don't know. But I think that the social media and the technology is like a massive factor that no one really focuses on. So I appreciate that question. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for having me in this room today, man. Shout out Wack 100. It's been sick. And let's do it again soon, man.
Let's tap in, bro. I
Mhm.
got you. You got me locked in. I got you locked in, man. We appreciate you for pulling up. You know what I mean? Sharing your thoughts, man, your knowledge, your wisdom, man. And you're on the 100 side of Clubhouse, man. We appreciate you. Until next time.
Yo, that's pretty much the interview, man. How y'all feel about that, man? Trap Lord Ross coming to Clubhouse to chop it up with Wack 100 and the 100 side. He shed some light on how he got started in his career. He spoke on the controversy that he received and his opinion on his responsibility as a journalist, and the liability that he shares in terms of putting out this content about drill music, hip-hop culture. He spoke a lot about King Von. He seemed to be a big fan of King Von and didn't really want to disrespect him, but he also wanted to keep it real and put the facts on the table. A lot of people were trying to sugarcoat it about King Von, but he kept it real. He definitely admired King Von and was sad to see him pass away, but he definitely spoke of him in high regards. But he didn't want to overlook the fact of the family members and the victims who have been hurt due to things that happen in the drill music scene. I thought it was a really good interview. I got to salute Trap Lord Ross for coming through. He definitely provided some grade A content for Clubhouse. So salute to Wack 100 and 100 side. It was definitely some good content. So let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. How y'all feel about Trap Lord Ross? Y'all feel he's a culture vulture? Do y'all feel that he just too connected to the drill scene? Do you feel that he's capitalizing off of this in a negative way? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is Black Savage Entertainment. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.